Podcast. Solutions for real-world problems with real-world people. And of course, those crazy people too. And now, your host, Eddie G.
Hello. Shout out to everybody watching.
We're live. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pass the Mic, where we have an amazing special guest with us, the one, the only, OBA Frank Lords.
Hi.
I like the hi. You can do it one more time?
Hi.
Man, what an honor and a privilege to have you here, brother. I know we've had like a little session right beforehand.
Yeah, we've been talking here about a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I really
You're
appreciate
awesome.
you coming in, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No, what an honor. What an honor.
Thank
The
you,
man,
sir.
the myth, the legend, the Miami man who made it all happen in Miami and then took it all around the world. And you do some amazing stuff. And you got introduced to this at a young age. I got to see some of the interviews you have on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in just now, make sure you like us and subscribe on YouTube at PTMP Live. So that you just go to your YouTube, you type in PTMP space live. You'll see one of our pictures. Click there, go to our page, and you'll be able to subscribe to our channel. There's a little bell notification. You hit that bell notification and you'll find out every time that we're going live. All right. And with that, you'll get to see the past episodes. If you happen to miss this episode and you caught it on our Facebook, check it out on YouTube. That's basically how we're funding our show. And we really want you guys to do that so we don't have to commercialize the station. And we have some big things happening. And we want you guys to enjoy it. All right. So with that being said, please,
Like us,
please check out Frank Lords. Can we put that on the screen real quick, Sandy? Can we put that on the screen? OBA Frank Lord. It's at OBA Frank Lords, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? At OBA Frank Lords. Check him out on there, and you guys can see all the stuff that he has on his Instagram. But then if you just type in YouTube, OBA Frank Lords, OBA Frank Lords, you'll be able to see what other interviews he's had. He's had some great stuff. New Times. You also have a bunch of shows that you've done.
Yes.
All over the place. And you have a really unique flavor, man.
Well, it's kind of like un arroz con pollo.
Un arroz con pollo o un arroz con mango?
Con mango, yeah, but con mango is a little bit more sweet. This is arroz con pollo.
Arroz
kind
con
of
pollo.
Stuff,
I like it.
It's a blend.
It's a little.
It's a blend.
It's got a lot of spices.
Yes, absolutely.
You got to put the sazon on it.
Sí, señor.
So there it is. OBA Frank Lords.
Oh, there it is.
You follow it there. All right. And basically, you got your starting when you were really young. You met a gentleman in your neighborhood in the home of Hialeah.
No, it was in Southwest Miami.
In Southwest Miami.
Yes.
Okay.
This was when I was 10.
10.
I saw this gentleman, a black gentleman, by the way. He was building a drum, and it caught my attention. And I started like stalking him, basically.
Yeah.
I would, go every day, hide behind this tree, and just watch him do this until one day that he stops me on the street and he asked me if I like drums. And I was like, yeah. And then I'm like, how do you know that? He goes, no, I've been watching you, and, I know you've been watching me. And I'm like, it's impossible for this man to know that I'm watching him, And I'm like, no, I wasn't. And he goes, yes, you were. And then he's like, you want to see drums? Come with me. And he took me into this little tiny place that looked like a closet.
Right.
And it was his house. And I freaked out. Like, I thought I was in drum heaven, So I became a friend of this man, and I would skip school and everything, and I would go to hang out with him, day in, day out, until one day he started talking to me about the religion. And if I wanted to be a great drummer, that, I had to do something about my spirituality, which things that I really didn't understand too much about. And I said, what do I have to do?
I mean, you're 10 years old.
Right.
Man.
And then he, this guy being actually the son of real Congo slaves, because this man was 92 years old back then.
Wow.
Okay. And his parents actually came to Cuba on a boat tied up from Africa.
Wait. He was 92 when you met him at 10?
Yes.
And he, from the story that I saw, you left the neighborhood and came back a year later, and he had passed away.
3 years later, yes, he had passed away. Yes.
How long were you with him before you left?
For about 3 years.
So within 6 years, he passed away.
Well, yes, within 6 years of meeting him.
Of meeting
yes,
him.
Yes.
The one part that I was confused about in the story, and again, for you guys to catch up, you have to watch this show. You have to watch the interview, okay? That's how it is. We support others. You got to support us. Watch the interview.
Right.
So on the interview, the only part that confused me was he didn't speak English or Spanish very well. How did you communicate with him?
He spoke very Tarzan type of Spanish.
Got it.
Like, tú sabes, yo quiero te quita, you know, that kind of, you know, his Spanish was very like
Broken.
an African person, you know.
Okay.
But it was understandable enough, you know, for anybody to understand him in
Got it.
Spanish, you know. English, forget it. He didn't even know how to say good morning. You know, he didn't know how to read or write either.
Wow.
Yeah. But what he had in his head was an encyclopedia of spiritual knowledge that I couldn't even start to explain to you the amount of things that I saw from this man in 3 years. I mean, he started me off, and then he made sure that other people, you know, through his spiritual influence would meet up with me in my lifetime and continue to teach me. Wow. So, you know, it's a very intense story when it comes to that. But I went and I did something, you know, like the mischievous boy that I was, and I went and I got initiated into this religion with him. And then he told me what my future was going to be right there. He says, you're going to be a very famous person. People are going to know you from your drums. People are going to know you from this religion. You're going to have a lot more godchildren than me, et cetera, et cetera. All this stuff he told me, and I was just looking at him like, this guy's crazy. I don't know what he smoked. He's nuts,
but I want the drums.
But I want the drums, and I'm like, let's do this. And I did it. You know, my parents didn't find out until I was much older. Okay. And I did this, and it changed my life completely. And it put me in a place where if I could do this every single year of my life, I would actually do it every single year of my life.
Wow.
Because it's one of the most amazing feelings that I could tell you. You know, for instance, you know, I'm never alone. I could be in the middle of the desert and I'm never alone because I'm connected with thousands of spirits that are around me at all times, you know, and it's thanks to this that I did. So it's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome, man. And you know, a lot of people are scared or skeptic of it. You hear all kinds of things.
Of course.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's whatever makes people happy. You know what I mean?
People make their own connotations of things when they don't know.
Or they're scared or they don't understand something.
When they don't know something. Like when you don't know something about somebody, you immediately make, you know, some kind of judgment based on your first impression.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, if you see somebody with long hair, a lot of earrings and a lot of, you know, jewelry on, it's a guy, oh, he's gay. No, maybe he likes jewelry.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe he's native or maybe he's tribal, you know.
Right.
So people just make these comparisons to things because, like, for instance, voodoo, okay? Everybody thinks voodoo is a little doll with a needle in it, you know,
Right.
and a
We've talked
zombie
about
and
this.
some guy with his face painted white with a top hat.
Right.
That's what Hollywood did in James Bond. That's the only thing that they know about voodoo. But
Right.
I have seen people get almost lifted from their grave, you know, with ceremonies that person was dead and that person came back to life. I've seen it with my own eyes.
It's crazy, man.
You know, this is something that's highly, intensely spiritual
Right.
of God, because the devil cannot do that. The devil cannot heal anybody. You understand? So
Right.
it has to be with God. So then all these people are making this sound like, you know, it's all dark and like we paleros and santeros are dark. Well, there's dark people in the Vatican too.
True.
You know? There's
Very
dark
true.
people in
There's
all
dark
the mosques.
There's dark people everywhere. There's good and bad in everything that we
It's
do.
the
and
yin
everywhere
yang,
that we go.
man. It's got to be that way.
It's crazy. We got a lot of people in the house. Big shout out to everybody. Want to say thank you to
Yeah.
everybody tuning in. Even my daughter's listening, man.
Cool.
My little 4-year-old Lexi. Hello, Lexi.
My grandchildren are checking me out too.
Oh,
Yeah,
hello, Is it
shout out to-
Instagram?
I think they're on Instagram or they might be on YouTube. I don't know.
Well,
where
we know
they're
we're not on
watching me.
Facebook, so they're on Instagram.
No, we're not on Facebook. Not my Facebook.
The Book
that
of
is.
Face. What up to everybody?
My book hit me in the face.
Oh, man.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to say that for all those of you that are wondering if I took you off of Facebook. No.
No.
Actually, Facebook took me off of Facebook forever. So I no longer have a Facebook account. So you can look me up on Instagram, okay?
All right, man. Wow, that's crazy. So let's talk a little bit about what is. I get this a lot too because we were before. What does OBA stand for?
Well, Oba is a Nigerian word, okay, from the Yoruba tribe, and the language is called Lukumi, and Oba means king, basically. It is also a rank within the what people call Santeria religion, which is a person that officiates the high initiations and all of the things like, you know, Haciendo Santo and those kind of rituals. An Oba is the person that's supposed to officiate them. So it's a rank. It's also a title of king, and I chose it because it's one half of my Santeria name, which is Obabi, which means the son of the king. So I just put that in front of the Frank Lords, you know.
Yeah.
And then
Frank
the
Lords
Lords,
is
the Lords is not my real name either.
Right.
My real name is Francisco Martin, okay, but Lords is spelled Lord apostrophe S, so it means of the Lord. And then Frank is just, you know, English for Francisco. Oba Francisco Lords is like kind of
didn't have the
that
ring.
Doesn't ring well.
That's crazy, man.
So that's
crazy.
what that means.
And this all just happened to you overnight, or what was the deal? I mean, like, okay, so
You mean-
we're taking from a 10-year-old boy, right? You know, I got a little bit of the story, the bigger story. Make sure you
Right.
guys check that out, okay? But then somewhere along the line, you got hooked up when you were inside with Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Yeah.
You
that
were
was another,
interning.
yeah, face.
You
of
were
my
you were
life.
see, I went deep.
Yeah, I
went
saw. I
deep.
saw. Yeah,
went deep.
I was able to actually sweep the floors of TK recording studios. You know, back when people like Casey and George McRae and oh my God, so many people.
You got in with Secret Society?
Secret Society was my band way after.
Right.
You know,
I know
that
Rudy
was
Gill.
already, is that guy by any chance related to you?
No, he's not.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah, no, he's not related to me. No.
I just like to take stabs at Rudy every once in a while. Poor guy. Anyway, so the studio thing with TK and all that was an interning thing. Okay, this is where I learned how to actually work in the studio, because I would actually, clean up after everybody was gone, right? So then, back then they would have these papers that would have like little pictures of the board, like the knobs, and you would paint a little line where the engineer had left, that knob, like let's say an EQ. So this was the recall. This was a total recall back then.
Right.
It was my job, or the intern's job, to paint all of these little things. Okay, the high end is over here. The volume is at 3+, whatever.
Right.
So then I would paint it,
We're
so I
so
knew
spoiled.
exactly. I would paint it so I knew exactly where this engineer left everything, and then I would mess it all up. And I was playing around with mixes of KC, learning how to use a board, and I'm like,
Right.
what does this do, and what does that do, and oh great, and then I would put it all back, and nobody ever knew I touched it. The next morning when they would come to work, nobody ever knew I did that. So I was actually learning how to mix with a track like Shake 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 Your Booty, stuff like that. So I was actually spoiled when it came to that. And I watched these musicians because I was there day and night. I watched these people, and I learned and I learned, and I was just a sponge, learning. Then a band called Silent Prayer came, okay? Silent Prayer, every member, or mostly every member of Silent Prayer, except myself, okay, went on to become a band called Erotic Exotic.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wait.
And then
And
Rudy,
for those of you that don't know,
yeah,
now you know.
and then Rudy had a band, and the time that I was in Silent Prayer, Rudy had a band called Perfect Strangers, okay? And in that band was the singer of Erotic Exotic, okay, the one that later on joined up with my guys to become Erotic Exotic. His name is Eric Tallman, may he rest in peace, my brother, which died many, many, many years ago. Anyway, they formed that band, and then me and Rudy got together and we did Secret Society, okay? And this all took place in a place called the Beat Club, which was a little club in Southwest that, brought like the most amazing acts, and it was actually a teen club, believe it or not. We're getting some wind, right?
What is that? Oh, it's thunder.
It's thunder. There you go.
Thunder.
Chango
And the
is in
lightning.
the interview. That's my daddy trying to get in the industry.
Yeah, man. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's Chango out there.
Nice,
He's
man.
blessing us. That's good. Ache. Kabio Sile Baba.
Oh, there you go.
So,
man.
those two bands became, of course, who you know, Secret Society and Erotic Exotic. And that went on for a while. Then Secret Society breaks up for the third time. Okay. This was after We Belong Together came out and all that stuff. And then I went on to do a band called Latin Express. Actually, before Latin Express was a band called Dogma. And that band had two very huge Billboard dance hits, one called Más Suave and the other one called Ritmo Cubano Sabor Africano. After that came Latin Express, which was the band that did Chango, which propelled me to do all the remixes for Ricky Martin and Gloria Estefan and all of those other people. And that started that whole Afro house thing.
That
way
wasn't
back
on
then.
there, man. I didn't know that part.
The Latin Express stuff?
No, where you were doing with Gloria Estefan and
Yeah, I did a remix for Gloria Estefan on a track called Out of Nowhere, which actually was Grammy nominated. But
Dope,
but
man.
Janet won that year. She won the dance.
what sucks was that you didn't get recognized for when you got put in for the drums.
Well, no, I didn't do the drums. I did the remix.
No,
The-
on your first on the first take with the Erotic Exotic.
well, Erotic Exotic. I wasn't in Erotic Exotic.
You were. It was a part, and I'm paraphrasing now in the site in the interview.
Mhm.
But basically, you had a part when you were interning that they asked you to play the drums.
Oh, you're talking about way back before Erotic Exotic.
Yeah.
That was actually.
Oh, I thought it was for Erotic Exotic.
No. That was actually me working at TK, and the percussionist of this, group that was recording, he had an accident. He broke his arm. Okay.
Right.
And I was always hanging around with drumsticks playing on boxes.
You had them in the back of your pants.
Right. So then the sound engineer goes, okay, you know what? You want to prove to see if you're the man now? I'm going to give you a shot. And it was a joke. And this guy's whole setup was set up there. And I'm like, you're going to give me a shot? For real? And he's like, yeah. And he turns on the song.
And they're all laughing, and
I
then all of a sudden you start playing.
And the guy's like, whoa, wait a minute. Let's do a track of congas. Let's do a track of this. Before you know it, they'd had like 9 tracks of me done.
Laid out.
And then he's like, you know what? We're keeping this. And I'm like, get out of here. And that song became a hit called Miami Heat Wave.
Incredible.
It's an old
man.
disco record way back from the 70s.
I think I might actually have
Miami
it.
Heat Wave.
I think I
Heat
might
Wave.
actually have it,
Yeah,
man.
Miami Heat Wave, man.
I have.
That
well,
was
you
like
see
my
45s there.
first. That was like my first real studio experience.
It's
you know?
crazy.
Like me recording, And then after that, I just, all my bands, I would produce them, and I was always the guy that would, be putting everything together. So I was always there from beginning to end, while the singer was out, after chicks or whatever,
You were there coloring.
and I was there putting it all together because it was basically my idea,
Dope. Dope.
And the same thing now, is still happening now. So we move forward. Latin Express, we
Right.
were playing, and then one day I get a phone call, very late. Hey, it's Oscar G and Ralph Falcon want you to come to the studio.
This is where magic.
Okay, they have this track, so I'm like, sure, when I get done, I'm gonna go over there, So I don't know, it was at 2 or 3 in the morning. It was like the most ungodly hour, And I show up there, and I'm coming from a club, so I'm already like, where,
Yeah.
in another zone, And I get there, and there's Oscar and Ralph, and they
Thank
got
you for not
these-
getting me shut down on YouTube.
yeah. I get there, and and they have these gigantic speakers. It was in Oscar's mom's house. Okay, the studio was in Oscar's mother's house, right?
Oh, man.
And they had these speakers that were huge, like for a club. And this is what these guys are listening to this at that time. Okay, so I'm like, oh, I just stepped out of a club and I'm in another club. So then they're playing this loop, boom pa ka goom ka, boom pa ka goom ka, and I'm like, wow, that's cool as hell, man, And then Ralph comes and he goes, okay, these are the lyrics, and then he's like, check it out, blah blah blah, and they were actually singing on the track, like him and Oscar were singing on the track, And I'm like, okay. So I started learning the thing, and then I said to him, okay, I want you guys to give me like 8 tracks. Okay.
I want my house
To
music.
So then I started.
Plug.
I feel it deep inside me. So I start singing, right? And then the next track, I do another voice.
I
and
got
then the next
goosebumps.
track, I do another voice.
I got goosebumps. Do it again. One more time.
I feel it deep. Now you're making me laugh. So we put together this whole, conglomerate of voices, okay, that came out like all as one voice, and they were like, wow, I love this. So I leave, right? And I go on about my business. They go on about theirs, and I don't know if it was 6 or 8 months later, I get a phone call from Oscar. Like, yo, what's up, man? I'm actually acting like Oscar, right? Yo, what's up, man?
Hopefully he's tuned in right now, cracking up, laughing.
And I'm like,
he's talking about my mom's room. He's like,
it was awesome.
He's
bro.
making fun of my voice. That's it. I'm never putting him on another track.
No, I have stories about Oscar, but anyway, I'm like, what's up, bro? And he goes, hey, man, you know that song we did? And I'm like, what song? I hadn't even forgotten the song. Like, what song? And he goes, yo, that song that we did, a few months ago. And I'm like, yeah, bro. And he goes, bro, you better put a band together. And I'm like, why? And he goes, bro, the song's a hit.
Oh,
and I'm
man.
like, get out of here, for real? He's like, dude, the song has blown up. And then he's like, I want you to come and do a show at Space. He was spinning at Space back then.
Yeah, Space.
And he's like, we're not going to advertise nothing. We're not going to do nothing. As a matter of fact, we don't have to, because you're going to see when you get there, you're going to see what your song is doing, okay?
Dope.
So we set up, we did a sound check. It was on top of like these 2 speakers, okay, with like the drums for, y eso es verdad, mira,
Yeah,
ahí está
you
Chango.
saw that? You
Ahí
heard
está
that?
Chango saying eso
You
es
heard
verdad.
that?
That
Sandy,
was
can we play the
thunder.
lottery? Because we're
Yeah,
getting
that
so
was
much
thunder.
love out here.
Yeah. So we set up, my percussionist, and then a microphone, right? And in the middle of the night, when that place was just
Bumping.
jumping, I mean, that place was wall to wall, okay?
Normally.
Dude,
It's crazy over there.
all of a sudden, he starts, "Dum da ka kum ka." And the people are just screaming, but they didn't know I was about to come up on that speaker. So I come up on the speaker with a torch, and I start fire breathing at these people that are already tripping nuggets, okay, to begin with. And I'm like, throwing fire at them like a dragon, and everybody's like, whoa. And then I start singing. When I started singing, the place almost like
That was it. Saliva on the floor.
No, the place went down. Everybody singing. I couldn't even hear myself because everybody was singing the song to me.
Intense, man. That's intense.
And I was like, oh my God, what is this? The song. Then I went to New York. When I go to New York, the first gig that we ever did in New York was at this place, this Greek club in right off the New Jersey, okay, highway or whatever, the turnpike. And it was huge. The place was immense, okay? And we get there, and we're in the dressing room, and I see a bunch of people walking around, and most people have this black shirt on, and it says A, the letter A, the number 2, and the letter D, okay? And I'm like, what is this A2D thing? And everybody's walking around. Blah, blah. All of a sudden, one bartender comes up to me to ask me what I want. And I go, let me ask you a question. What is that you have on there? The A2D. And he goes, what do you mean, what is that? That's you. And I'm like, what do you mean that's me? He goes, look. And he gets close to me, and underneath the A2D, it said, addicted to drums.
Oh,
A2D.
wow. A2D.
And I'm like, what is that? And he goes, that's your song. And I'm like, no, my song's called Dark Beat. He goes, no, your song's called Addicted to Drums. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
I don't know. I didn't know I labeled the track that way, but that's cool.
The song was called Dark Beat, but everybody was calling it Addicted to Drums.
There goes Google.
There goes Google. Google's
listening to us.
Thing. There you go, the snitches. They got us tracked everywhere. Yeah, it's me. You found me. Anyway, so all these people are wearing this shirt,
That's
know?
Facebook looking for you.
Yeah, there you go. The Facebook cops. I'm here. At sound level. Come get me.
A2D.
Yeah, A2D. It's a new virus.
Oh, man.
Drum addiction. And then the other thing with that song was that everybody thought it said addicted to drugs.
Oh, wow.
Because if you really listen to it, it almost, because I'm
Right.
addicted to drums and I'm a slave to the dark beat. So it almost sounded like addicted to drugs. So people were like addicted to this song because of that, man.
I think that song made like a cult-like following in house.
That song has been out for 18 years.
It was 2002.
Yes, that song has been out for 18 years. I just found the other day another remix of the track that they used the Dance Star performance that we did when the song was actually nominated for Song of the Year at Dance Star. That would have been a great awards show if it would have kept going. It was like the Grammys of dance music.
Right.
It was amazing, and they used that video and they have a new remix out right now. That song has about 500 remixes. I have never seen anything like it.
Dun, 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 dun. I feel it
You
inside
could
me.
sing this to anything.
Yeah, yo, it's got that tempo, man. Like it gets, you know.
It's under your skin.
What's the movie? Oh my gosh, what's the name of the movie? Leonardo DiCaprio and he owns an empire of. Oh man, what's it called?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Help me out. I know you know this one, man.
He owns an empire.
Come on, help me out here in the chat room. Anyways, when he does this, he's like,
it hits you.
Wolf of Wall Street. Thank you. There it is. There it is. He had to drop his phone. Google. He was snitching right now.
So then Dark Beat did its thing, and
did its thing. That's an understatement, man. I'm always amazed at how artists underplay their own tracks.
Because we hear it about 10,000 times before you guys ever hear it.
I
for
hear
the
a
first
million
time.
songs a million times.
We're like, oh, there that.
You know how many times I've had to play Dark Beat throughout since 2002? But like, it's an exciting thing, man. Like,
no, I love it. I mean, don't get me wrong; those are like my children. My songs are like my children. And I raise them and everything, and I bring them to to maturity and the whole 9 yards. So I treat them like children.
It's like growing cheese.
But yeah, it's
they're mature now.
Yeah, they're mature now. They're old, and I'm real old.
It's a classic.
Exactly. So, like I was saying, Dark Beat, did that whole thing, and I kept on, of course, in contact with Oscar and them, and now recently, for the past, I think 5 years now. We have been playing, myself and my son Engo have been playing with Oscar at Wynwood, at Coyotaco, and at another place called 1-800-LUCKY, and then the pandemic came and messed everything up. So we were doing that. We also have this thing that we do that is called Ache.
Wait, before you get into that.
Okay.
I don't want to get into that.
You don't want to get into that?
I don't want to get into that.
All right.
I want to play the snippet beforehand.
Oh, go. Oh, okay, cool,
I
cool,
want to
cool.
play the snippet
So,
beforehand.
I was just telling you my trajectory.
I
So
know,
we're at Dark Beat.
Yeah, we're at Dark Beat. We'll keep it at Dark Beat. Skirt.
Some of the breaks.
Let's do a little plug here. Let's do a little plug.
Let's do
Something
it.
beautiful for all the people. As you know, Pass the Mic is coming up with real-world solutions for real-world problems, and we want to do as much as we can within the community. So we have somebody who reached out to us, Madeline. She's now on with us on PTMP Live on YouTube, and we have a bunch of people in there. Shout out to Decade. Decade says, I want a 305 house hat, Oba.
Hit me up on my Instagram, okay?
There you go.
And I'll get it out to you.
You
How's
got
that?
plugged in. You see that? Decade, I hooked you up. I hooked you up before I hooked myself up.
But you better
That's
wear
crazy.
it and take a picture of it and post it and show
That's
me.
crazy. That's crazy. Sandy, we gotta do a plug. All right. So shout out to everybody. Madeline's listening. Madeline's family went through some tragedies. 7 years ago, I believe. Her husband had some kidney issues. I know there's been some cancer in the family, and as you all know, we've all had somebody who's been affected by cancer.
Absolutely.
So there's a beautiful thing that they're doing tonight in local Miami. So if you're a Miami native here, I know we have a ton of listeners here in Miami. We have about 22,000 listeners who listen to the show. So with that being said, over in the tropical park, if you guys have ever been to Santa's Enchanted Forest, that's where Tropical Park is. It's called Night of Hope. It's a luminaire and a tribute drive through parade. It's happening today from 6:30 p.m. to 7:45. $10. You go in onto the website, plug in your $10, and you guys can get a bag with your name on it, and it's going to go around the entire Tropical Park with a candle inside. And you guys drive through. It's completely safe. They're doing the full social distancing, and anybody who is a volunteer who is there is actually volunteering to keep the social distancing and make sure that everybody's bag and everybody's safe, okay? And they're following their own protocols, etc. So if you get the opportunity to go out there and support, that'd be amazing. But keep in mind, you cannot give the donations there in person. They're not accepting any money there. They're doing all the donations over online. I also do my research and homework on every single company that we support. And one of the big things here is I decided to support this group because 100% of the money goes towards the cancer patients, okay?
Awesome.
Meaning they're not even collecting a paycheck on this like most nonprofits do, okay? They were able to get everything donated 100%. The park, the bags, the candles, everything was completely donated. So your $10 collectively goes to getting cancer patients to the hospital, food, transportation, whatever the case may be that they need, meds, research. It is really imperative that we find a cure to this horrible, horrible disease. And we definitely want to make sure that we are being cognizant and careful to what we do each and every day. So make sure you guys support that. If you can't make it out there, you can also do a donation on your own. Everything's on the screen for you guys to see. And a big, huge shout out to Madeline Rodriguez and the entire family, the Rodriguez family out there. Much love and appreciation to you guys.
God bless.
Also to the American Cancer Society. Thank you guys for doing everything that you do each and every day. With that being said, back in the mix right now with OBA Frank Lords.
Hi.
Wait. Here we go.
That little machine, but you had taken it off the screen.
Oh, you want me to put it back on?
Of course.
All right, hold on one more time. There you go. All right, guys. All right, so now we could talk about Ache.
Okay.
All right, so a lot of people are going to get confused, and we don't want to. We don't
You
get
wanted to play something
so it's
first? Or?
ACHE, and that's how it's abbreviated.
It's an acronym.
A.C.H.E, and you call it Ache. So
yes,
make sure you guys understand. You're hearing it here first. It's Ache. Madeline Rodriguez, July 9th at Tropical Park. Oh, it's July 9th. So it's not tonight? No, it's not tonight. It's next Thursday. Excuse me, guys. Next Thursday. So we have enough time. There you go. See, I thought it was tonight. I thought it was tonight. So July 9th. You guys have plenty of time. Please donate. Be greatly appreciated. And we'll do the rerun, and it's going to be on our website. Good thing I caught that.
yes.
That was a quick catch. He's gonna have a bunch of people at Tropical Park lined up with their candles ready to go.
Oh my god,
That'll be a bad thing.
that would have been really,
really bad. It'd be horrible. I feel so bad. We're doing it live.
Yeah, that's the thing about live, man.
We'll edit that later.
Oh,
All right.
Lord.
So let's get into it. Sandy, you got that video ready?
You want to play that
Ladies
first?
and gentlemen, here we go.
Let's play that first.
3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to Bass the Mic. That was a quick one, huh?
That was good.
That was
good.
Good thing I was paying attention.
Oh.
Sandy's over there. She's zoomed in, boy. Shout out to Sandy. Sandy, we finally got Sandy a microphone over there. You want to say hi to everybody, Sandy? Hold on, let me unmute you here. Okay. Hold on. Here we go. Ready? There you go.
I was muted?
You were muted the whole time. We didn't want to hear you breathing back there.
Hello, everyone.
All the frustration back there, you know. Did the croquetas make it? They're right next to croquetas, pastelitos. All right, so we have something to look forward to the end of the show.
That's right. Yes.
All right, you're unmuted for the rest of
This
the show
is
now
totally
since you were
Cuban,
complaining
by the way.
about it. All right.
Got it.
You got to be careful now.
Uh-oh. It's totally Cuban show. We got croquetas, empanadas, and café.
Madeline, you're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Where's the coffee? Do we get the coffee? There it is.
That's like Cuban down, people.
Yes,
Just so
ladies
you
and
know.
gentlemen, so you don't know, this is your baby teacup of fast forwarding your life. That's what it is.
Rapido. That's what the American people call it. They call it rapido.
Rapido. You got to roll those tongues.
Rapido.
And you got your son here.
Yes, I do.
So let's talk about it. That was an amazing video. Let's talk about it.
Okay, well, Ache, first of all, is an abbreviation for Afro-Cuban House Experiment, okay? In Ache is Oscar G, the DJ,
Boom.
Katia Shea, female vocalist, and you would call it lead vocalist, myself, and my son, Ngo Lords, okay? Then we have a whole cast of dancers, and we have also had other musicians come and join us, like brass section, guitar player, etc. This is right now called an experiment because we are working and putting things together. Even the music is changing as we're going, okay? But it's basically going to be Afro-Cuban house all the time, okay? It's also like a ritual to a certain extent because the dancers wear traditional outfits, you know, with the colors of the orishas and all this kind of stuff. There's visuals in the background that are going on that are giving history and you know, things of the religion as well. And eventually we want it to become the Afro-Cuban house experience. So that's what we're getting it to, okay? Eventually I would like for this to turn into something that's like Cirque du Soleil meets, you know, Studio 54.
Dope.
You
You know
know
what you need? You need a DJ Scorpio. That's what you need.
you're going to get in trouble with Oscar because then we have to fire Oscar.
No, man. I'm just waiting for him to break his arm so that I can jump in.
No, qué maldición. Pobrecito Oscar.
I'm going to sit behind Oscar marking up all the things on his mixing
Oh
board.
my God. You'd be the intern.
I'm a quick learner, bro. Don't
Yeah.
You can't teach me stuff.
What do they call that? The fall guy. What do they call that in the movies? The person oh my God, the stand-in.
The stand-in,
You'd be
exactly.
the stand-in.
Yeah, I'll be the stand-in. Thank you.
So
I could deal with that.
you know, in Ache, what we do, okay, is Oscar's playing, you know, from beginning to end, mixing these songs that are actually our songs, okay? So the whole show is comprised of music that we do ourselves, okay?
Right.
And, you know, we're interacting and playing live and singing to it as well. Eventually, there will be more musicians on stage, you know, as there will be, you know, you name it, tumblers and gymnasts and whatever, you know, contortionists and whatever we can find to make that a circus, you know. Ache is the biggest thing that we are concentrating on right now. Hopefully next year, if all of this pandemic stuff gives us a break, we will be doing concerts worldwide because we're already in the talks of that.
Amazing.
With actually, as a matter of fact, with our friend Felix Sama, which is the person that actually hooked me
He was
up
there.
with
He was
you.
on episode 12, Sandy.
The day you guys called me on the phone.
Yeah,
remember?
we were on the phone. Yeah.
Well, we're doing stuff with him and a little bit on Katia Shea as well. She is an artist that I, you know, produce and co-write with, and we have a lot of music out on Made in Miami, on Nervous Records, there was even a track out on Todd Terry's label. So, you know, we have a lot of interesting things that go on stage with Ache, you know. It's like this visual explosion, you know, very colorful, very on fire because it's like slamming to the wall drums all the time. Very African and cultural at the same time. So it's something good, you know, something new to like kind of like introduce the youth, okay, to something that's, you know, thousands and hundreds of thousands of years old, and we're just bringing it to them in a flavor that they kind of understand and digest better, you know, than your typical traditional Santeria type music, you know.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. It's just a fusion, you know. So we're actually going to church every time we go on stage.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So like
Healing and
it's not like you're leaving home. It's kind of like you're
we're
taking home on
bringing
the road.
home
That's
with
all.
us. Absolutely. Yes.
That's awesome, man.
Introducing it to the world.
And in house, I like funk, I like Afro, and I like soul. Those are my three house that
the types of house that you like.
those are my go-tos as far as flavor. I like tribal too, because it's got it's got the drums.
Right, right.
You know what it reminds me of? You know what your story reminds me of too?
What?
Beat Street.
Oh wow.
It reminds me of Beat Street.
Wow.
You know
I
how
remember
like
that movie.
he was DJing upstairs and he's like, "It's working, it's working. Party people in the place, they're ready." You know, and he started his thing.
Yes, Brenda K. Starr was in that movie.
Yeah, and so like he's playing and he's jamming. Everybody's they just finished doing the b-boy battle, and he hears this, and he's like, "What is that?" And he looks at his buddy and he's like, "What is that?" And he leaves the DJ booth, right? And he goes downstairs, and it's an ex army guy, and he's just drumming on everything. He's like, "I miss my buddy." And so his buddy had passed away, and that's what he got left there was the drumming.
Yeah.
So your story kind of reminds me of that.
My life has been a drum.
To the dark beat.
Beat.
But now the newest jam for me, I mean, and I've heard what you sent me, and there's a couple of there's three particularly that I really like, but the one that stood out to me the most, I Want My House Music.
I Want My House Music. Yeah, that's a track that was actually written by Katia Shea, Jacob Colon, and myself. Jacob Colon did the original version. I did the remix, and it's a track that's out on Crystal Waters' label, I Am House.
Crystal Waters.
Yeah, Crystal Waters. La da dee da dee da. La da dee da dee da. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to I Am House, to Pitch Control, to all the wonderful people over there working that record.
Amazing, man. Yo, we got a legend in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Working with more legends. Can you believe this?
So yeah, they're really working that
Seriously?
record. I think that record's got a chance of being like one of these summer anthems, sort of like another Dark Beat, maybe. Let's hope that happens.
And it's so funny. He's so humble. Listen to him. Maybe. It's going to be a hit, bro.
It's not up to me. If it was up
It's
to
gonna
me,
be a hit.
all of my records would be hits. It's up to the crowd,
It's
people,
up to the listeners.
know? And now imagine we don't have clubs right now, so how people?
No, you know
so
what's
much
going to
harder
happen?
for people to hear things.
Everybody's in the studio right now grinding because we got nothing to do. So 2021 is going to have tracks galore.
Oh, wait till you hear some of the stuff
Tracks
I've been
galore.
working on.
And forget that I have a stronger feeling that at the end of the year, people are going to want to just finally let loose on all this stuff. And tracks like that.
Clubs are going to be like 24 hours.
I think we need that track now. Like, I want my house.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
You need that. You need I want that.
Playing all night long.
I want that. I need that.
Yeah.
It's one of those tracks like when you're watching wrestling that you stand up on top of the couch and you're like, get him, get him. That's exactly what it is. Like the when you hear, do you smell? You're like, ah. That's exactly what it's like. That's exactly what it's like.
Shout out also to Jacob Colon and
Jacob,
Katia Shea, if they're watching. I don't know, maybe they are. So hi.
On your Instagram.
On anywhere, I don't know, somewhere, somehow. Probably watch it. Not on Facebook though.
But it's okay if they don't watch it. They'll watch the rerun on YouTube.
Exactly.
And we're gonna post it up on your page, man.
Awesomeness.
We're gonna give you some snippets so that we can get everybody over there.
Beautiful.
To watch it. Be amazing.
Beautiful.
With that being said, let's go into some
do
pre-topics.
this.
All right, let's go into some fun. Let's
tell
do
me.
this. All right, so we got to get to the inside of Frank Lors, but now let's find out a little bit more. How do you feel the internet has impacted the music business? Do you think it's been in a positive way?
Oh wow.
Or a negative way?
Okay.
Here you go, brother.
I have mixed feelings on that. Oh, I'm dying over here. Hang on. I'm dying over here.
It's the thunder.
The thunder.
Is it the
that
same
was
one?
my
There you go.
phone. My phone is dying, and I'm putting it back on.
There we go.
Okay, everybody, chill, relax. There we go. We're there. Oh, there you go. Okay, so the internet. Well, At
See,
first,
you get headphones and power here.
yes, no, you're the bomb, man. You guys are just set up for everything, even croquetas. I mean, forget it. I'm staying here. You're gonna throw me out of here. Uh, so, the internet.
Yes.
Way back, way back
When Napster?
when CDs first came out, that the only people that were allowed CD machines, okay, were actually studios, because you would have to buy, like to be able to record CDs, you would have to buy a unit that was for studio use only.
Right.
When that happened, okay, I remember there being conferences like the Winter Music Conference and the New Music Seminar and all that stuff, and I was on the panels back then. And I mentioned to the industry that was listening that this was going to be a huge problem. I mentioned to them that this was the end of artists actually making real money on their records, okay? And I told them, we have to figure out a way to make sure that nobody can copy this, because if I buy a CD for, let's say, $16, and then I have a machine that can duplicate that, I can give 100 of my friends those CDs, and then that artist never made those 100 sales or 1,000 sales or whatever. So I knew that that was going to be a problem. And that has become the problem, and continued to be the problem, because right now you can download something and you can give that track. It's already bad enough that the artist is not even making 3 cents off of that download. That was 99 cents. Okay. And then you can copy that track and you can, send it to your friends, and then none of those people are going to download that track.
Right.
So there go the sales right there. Okay. Now, what is the good part? Okay, well, back in the days, you would have to physically go to different countries, to different radio stations to actually meet up with these people in person, which would cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Now you just send it via internet. So it has its pros, it has its cons. The problem is the lack of respect that people have, with, like, for instance, our creativity. That's something that I spent hours and hours and hours of my life doing. Whether it was in a professional studio or my studio or whatever, I'm paying a light bill for that. And people should not just download that without paying for it. Okay. But nowadays it's already become like almost like a form of promotion. Now you waste all this money on the record or on the video, you put it out for free, pretty much, let people just grab it. Okay. And then you charge an arm and a leg at a concert. That's why you go see a person like Madonna, and they charge you $500 and you're way up there. Madonna looks like a little ant on the stage, because she's got to make her money. So, this is where I think the internet has done well, but it has also done bad,
I can agree. What about streaming? I mean, you have, we have
there's
SoundCloud.
That's beginning to save, sort
Spotify,
of salvage.
iTunes.
It's sort of salvaging the industry now. Okay, I remember way back. Okay, there was a record that came out, Billy Idol. Okay, I believe it was called Idol Maker, and Billy Idol went through the trouble and paid a lot of money. Okay, to get this encrypted thing done on the CD. That was some kind of NASA. Had this thing where, like, say for instance, the Russians were trying to listen in on their conversation, and if they were trying to record it, the minute they would press record, it would just send white noise like shh,
Right.
and you wouldn't record it. So this was on this CD. It cost him an arm and a leg to be able to put it on there. So then if you would get that CD, you were not able to record it onto cassette or to anything, because the minute you would hit record, it would send this white noise. This is something that all the labels collectively should have gotten together and said, let's buy this from NASA and let's put this on everything, on any kind of digital source that you put out there. The person that's buying it has a right to record or actually to download that one. But if they're going to try to record it for somebody else, mess it up. And that's how you probably can save this, but everybody's greedy. Nobody wants to, put out money. Now labels expect you to record a record and give it to them for free. They don't even give you an advance anymore. They don't give you anything. So, basically, we do music because we love music.
Right.
Let me get that right. Let me get that straight. I could do music for free every day of my life.
Right.
The fact that I get paid to do music, I'm blessed. Okay, because I can wake up in the morning and go to work, happy as a pig, and you know what? Okay, because I'm gonna go do music.
He kept YouTube open again.
Yeah, exactly. No, don't worry. I got
You
my
got
home
this
button
down
on me.
packed.
You know, I keep shocking myself like, don't say that. You know. So I saw her over there. She cringed when I said pig. She went, you know.
I thought it was the
Don't
pig in the
worry, I got
background. It was
you. No, I got you. So basically, you know, I am blessed because I do my work that I do, also my religious work, you know, is what I love to do. I don't have to go meet some stuck-up boss or somebody that had a bad night with his wife, you know, come and try to boss me around for a measly, you know, paycheck at the end of the week, you know.
Right.
So I'm blessed, you understand? And that's the reason why I continue to do music. But in my life, in my career, I have had, you know, a million times bootlegged records that people have bootlegged of mine. Record labels that haven't paid me royalties, like for instance, Secret Society's albums, you know. I'm still waiting on royalty checks from those albums. On the ones that were not on my own label, on the ones that were picked up by other labels, you know. I'm not going to mention the labels now because it doesn't matter. You know, God bless them, you know. But basically, you know, the industry is a rough industry. You have to really, really, really love music to really stay in this industry, especially as long as I have. And I can say that I have been professionally in this business since 1980, thank God. And I have not punched a time card for nobody since then.
Right on, brother.
You know, so that's what I'm saying, you know.
We get to do what we love.
That's right. That's a blessing, man.
With that being said, please support Pass the Mic.
Yeah, man, you know, start downloading some records, all right?
Pass the mic.
You know, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are okay, but not all the time, you know?
Yeah, ramen noodles starting to get tiring over here.
Yeah.
You see this belly? It's called ramen noodle. I rub my noodles. That might be perceived wrong.
That might have gotten you off of YouTube right there. You see?
Oh, man, that's funny. Well, let's move on to the next one, man. What is your creative process like? I mean, this is a tough one. I know that there's these guys that have like these little their own ritual, right? Like they get their coffee, they stretch, you know, they go take a poop, they start looking at their notes.
My son is nodding his head over there like saying, don't say it.
Don't say it.
Well, you know, I have several creative processes that I go through, you know, like disconnection, you know, and connection, you know, and stuff like that.
Okay. You go flying.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I
Is that the correct term?
I like to submerge myself into the vibe, but so to speak. But
you vibe out.
Yes.
Got it.
My creative process is very simple, man. I feel the urge to do something. Thank God I have my studio at 2 paces away from my bedroom.
Okay.
So I walk into that next room and I'm on it. Sometimes, you know, like before I used to have a studio in a warehouse, so I would have to drive to it, but it wasn't even far from my house either. Sometimes I've been in the studio 56 hours straight without taking a bath, without nothing, you know, just there, you know, just use the bathroom and eat right there and all that stuff, because sometimes you're in that zone and you can't stop.
It's okay.
And then sometimes there's records, you know, like a record I'm working on right now. Called Mariana, and that record, I come back to it every once in a while, and I come back to it, and then when I listen to it, I listen to something new, and I touch it up, and I leave it alone, you know. So my creative process is not really the vocals come first or the lyrics come first and the music. It's whatever hit me at that moment, you know.
What
if
inspires
I
you,
saw
though?
something, or if I heard a sound, let's say, like I might even be out in my yard and I might even hear a bird doing something. And for real, it's happened to me before.
No way.
And I hear a bird going, tut, 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 tut,
And that's it.
tut, tut, and I'm like, whoa, that's a cool hook. And then I come back and I'm bam, 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 and before you know it, there's a song, you know.
Bam, 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 bam.
Whatever, you know. So, I mean, even like when I was doing stuff that I've actually been told later on, years later, hey, you know that you were a pioneer of this freestyle sound. And I didn't know I was doing freestyle. I was just putting Latin percussion on new wave music, you know.
Isn't that crazy?
It was like, you know, I was into all that stuff, Duran Duran, Tears for Fears, all that stuff. And then it was like, okay, this would sound really cool if we would put percussion on it. Why? Because that's the instrument I play.
How would you label dark beat? What genre would you put it under?
I would call it deep house.
Deep house?
Yeah.
It's funny. I always thought it was like more tribal.
Well, it's tribal because of the drums, okay? But it's so dark. Do you realize? Do you know that dark beat does not have a bass? Not too many people have even paid attention to that. Dark beat does not have a bass sound.
No, it doesn't have a bass line. It just has.
It doesn't
just
even
has,
have synths. It doesn't have synths. It has these
Yeah.
drums that are going doom da ka goom da, doom da ka goom da, and then a kick doom 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 doom,
So
and then
the,
this
I
thing
guess
goes,
the kick would be. I guess the kick would be the
the bass
bass
or the
line.
low end of
Yeah.
it, right? You know,
But that's the one that punches you in the chest. But what really excites you is that
yeah. So then when you hear that, it's almost like this hypnotizing rhythm that's getting you, and then all of a sudden this wall of vocals hits you, okay, with no other musical instrument behind it. It's just the vocals are doing the music,
yeah.
okay, and then the only other thing there is a truck horn, which I believe was the original real truck horn from space, that these guys blew it and sampled it and then put it on the track. If I'm not mistaken, that's the story with that truck horn. And that's it. Dark Beat is an extremely naked track. It's got nothing.
Simplicity
in it.
sells, man.
Total simplicity. Okay, and that
Simplicity
came out
sells.
at a time when people weren't even listening to that kind of stuff.
No, house wasn't like
That
deep
wasn't
house wasn't
that-
even.
no
it was
at
no,
all.
it was nothing.
At all. It was
nothing.
more like, I think it was trance or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
Or techno or something.
Techno was where it was
I
coming.
think it
in.
was techno.
2002. You
Right.
had whoa.
There goes Papa.
My bad, bro. I was
Chambos
talking
all
about
over
techno.
this
I was
interview.
talking about techno. I'm out.
Techno.
I'm out.
Electricity. Shocking. So,
Ka-chow, ka-chow.
so Dark Beat was like, oh, and another thing. This is the one thing not too many people know. There was no available acapellas for Dark Beat. Okay, because the record label that put this record out did not want to give anybody any acapellas. Okay, so in the middle break of Dark Beat, it breaks down to these claps and then me singing. Okay, it's just claps and singing. That was the acapella that every single person used to do all of those remixes back then. Okay, of that song. Everybody, everybody and their mother did a remix of that record. Okay. Until I re-recorded them 10 years later. Okay, so every record, every remix of Dark Beat had these claps on 4/4 like that. Ah, feel it deep inside. Every single one had it, right? Until I re-recorded the vocals again 10 years later for the Decade of Drum Addiction series that I put out of Dark Beat, and then now the new remixes have a clean a cappella.
Would you make a remix of your own song?
I did 17 of them myself.
I probably have them in my repertoire, and I don't even know.
When I put out the Decade of Drum Addiction, okay, I did 17 remixes. I even did one that has Papa was a Rolling Stone behind that.
No, no way, man. That's so dope.
Yeah.
You know, I'm eclectic like that when I mix, though. I'm very eclectic.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
just went crazy in the studio. I didn't come
Yeah.
out for like 3 weeks, and I came out with like
if
17
I could
mixes.
sit in, it's funny because what you do on the studio, I do on turntables.
Right. Yeah,
And
that's your form
if
of
I sit
creating
on
music.
the computer for too long, my mind wanders too many places, and I start forgetting where I'm going.
Right.
So I would have to get in another creative
No,
process.
you create your instrument or the turntables.
That is my instrument, literally.
And
that
that's
is
an
my
instrument, too.
Like that's my. That's funny because I've been told not.
No. Let me tell you something. I'm very impressed by what hip hop has done. Okay, practically you're talking about people that were not musicians. They just had turntables. Some of them were not singers. That's why they talk. And this is the beginning.
Auto-tune.
And then these people were getting records and looping them and then rapping over it, and they created this style.
Yeah.
And what they do with records and what they do with mixers nowadays, when you really see a DJ that's really working it.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's a lot of DJs that don't even have that stuff plugged in. Okay. But when they're really working it, it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's impressive to see a DJ really going off. Like, for instance, like, Oscar G.
Yeah. Carl Cox.
Roger Sanchez, Carl Cox,
Carl Cox impresses me all the time because he'll run vinyl or he'll run CDJs.
Oh yeah,
And he'll play like
yeah.
4 to 6
But those are real
decks,
DJs, man.
4 to 6 decks,
You
and
know?
he's just, creating different sounds right then and
Yeah.
there. That's a beautiful thing,
Those
man.
are real DJs.
That's
you
a
know?
beautiful thing. You're using somebody else's music, but you're inspiring to make your
You're-
own
you're
with
creating.
those songs.
Yes, actually.
I mean, but every big track, if you think about it, are sampled from the
Yeah, but
70s,
you want me to tell you something?
60s,
All music,
has been sampled.
every music that you hear now, any song of any genre of anything, is copied from something else. Everything has been invented. Everything. Everybody grabs from somebody. Okay,
Right.
and then they give it their own little sound, their own little twist, their own little thing. But it's all what happened here.
After an hour, YouTube,
So you have to
Instagram,
play it again?
Instagram shuts you down.
Really?
Yeah, that's their
Oh,
thing.
That's nice. Okay,
I
I'll
know.
come back. That's wonderful.
That's their thing.
Anyway, it's all copied, okay, from certain things. So basically, like for instance, a lot of people don't know that rock and roll music is from polka. That's the original music that first it was polka, then it was country, then it was rockabilly, and then it was rock and roll. Okay, so polka, which is this stuff that sounds like parade, tum ta tum ta tum ta, that was the predecessor of rock and roll.
I thought polka came from Mexican music, bro.
No, polka is from some European white country out there, some non-rhythm having country out there somewhere.
We got a question.
Yes.
So the question comes from, is that Adriana Garcia? Question, Oba, what was your favorite collaboration or track you love or made the best impact for your career or personal?
Wow. What was my favorite collaboration?
That was a deep question. I like it. I like it.
I really enjoyed the whole Ricky Martin process. The record that I did, the remix that I did for She Bangs. That was a really cool process, and Ricky was a very cool person. I have collaborations that I have done now, like for instance my collaboration with Oscar G and Ralph Falcon, Dark Beat. That's definitely imprinted in my life forever. Collaborations that I do now also with Katia Shea, which are records that I love because they're very from my soul. They're not records that were done to impress a label or whatever. Basically, I don't like to do music when it's trending. Like, I don't like to be part of the trend. I like to actually create my own trend. So I'm always maybe either ahead of the time or just not with the time. And then some people are like, oh, I don't know about this stuff right now. And then 5 years later, they're playing it every minute. So, collaborations to me, some of them stay in my memory, okay? And some of them are alive in my memory because of the people that I was working with and how nice they were or how they treated me, because making music is like making babies, okay? When you go into the studio, you're creating something, 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, whatever. That would be an orgy, but anyway. That's not going to get us to...
No, we're good. We're good.
But anyway, it's like making a baby. So you have to actually fight with the person a little bit. You have to struggle, get your point across, get their point across. And then all of a sudden you watch this thing be born, after it's mixed. And then you work it. So it's almost like raising the baby. And then when it gets on the charts, it's like the kid, got his first diplomas, from elementary and stuff. And then once it goes, all the way to a Grammy, you graduated from the university and you're a doctor. That baby, you understand? So that is the process of making music to me. So it's making music and making love is almost the same kind of thing.
Okay.
You have to love what you're doing if you're doing music. If you're doing music for money, you're not making music. You're just making business, because to me, music is what feelings sound like.
It's got to be a passion.
It's what feelings sound like, If you were to put a microphone in your feelings, it would be music. Okay?
Dope.
And
I think that's why it's around us everywhere. You go to a shopping mall,
Absolutely.
Publix, you get in your car, music, you get into, you go in an elevator, music. Anywhere you
Absolutely.
go, there's a soundtrack playing somewhere.
everywhere. You also, like when you're watching a movie, which is a visual thing.
If you take out sounds, like even sound effects out of a movie, the movie's boring.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. Even a visual thing. You're watching a movie and you hear sound or you hear something in the background, and that gives you that multi-dimensional or that multi-level sensory, because you're not just seeing, now you're hearing, and it's making, like in a scary movie when they put the high strings, you already know that that guy's gonna cut the other guy's head off. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, it's music that does that. And what about the most important music of all, your heartbeat?
Yeah, man.
When that stops, when that drum stops, that's it. It's over. So
That was deep.
yeah,
That's
that's the
deep.
most important music of all.
That was deep.
Doom, 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 doom.
You know what? That's going in a punchline somewhere, man. I like that. We're gonna make a shirt when you pay attention to your heartbeat. It's the drum beat.
It's the most important music
It's
of
the
all.
most important drum beat.
Yeah.
Oh man, write it down, Sandy, so we don't forget.
Most important music of
We're
all.
about to make some money here.
And you know what? The heartbeat is almost like, it's almost like house music, because a regular heartbeat more or less is on the 100 to 120 BPM.
That is correct.
So,
120
we're talking about house there,
There
So
it is.
we all have house music inside us.
Who do you wish you could collaborate with? Like, who would be like
Oh.
the person right now that would be like, oh, that is
Like
so
right now?
awesome. Like, just in general.
Oh, in general, they're dead.
Okay, who would it be? Would
They-
it be your teacher?
Oh, that would be amazing. I collaborate with him all the time because he's always inside my head talking to me. So he tells me what to do sometimes on music.
Or would it be
'cause he
like
was a
different
drummer.
one-on-one, personal?
Oh, that would be amazing to be able to go into a studio with that man and record. That would be amazing.
All right, but all time right now,
To collaborate with David
Right
Bowie.
now.
David Bowie.
David Bowie.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's one crazy MF right there. That guy just had no limits to his creativity. He didn't have any boundaries, and everything that he created was new. You had never seen it or heard it, and I like that. Also, Prince is another person that I would definitely love to collaborate with.
About MJ?
Yes, but
Eh?
I love MJ, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Okay. But MJ was the
Because you
type
said
of
Prince,
person-
so I was like, okay, well, MJ.
MJ, yeah, but I'm talking about, instrumentalists too, people that play instruments, like Prince, for instance. I would love to go in the studio with him because that man played everything. So I would love to just sit there and watch him play and then play with him,
Or like Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars is a very talented guy, super talented.
And I love his funk. Like the funk.
Michael Jackson, don't get me wrong, let me go back to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson to me is definitely like the king of pop, okay? But I think that maybe because of his mind and the things going on in his mind, I think that him and I would probably clash. Me
Interesting.
and Michael Jackson, So I like to be, happy in the studio. I like to be having fun. So, like for instance, I had to produce Paulina Rubio, and I had to tell her to leave the studio.
Interesting.
Because she just was whack.
You're just taking away your creative.
No,
flow.
no, I couldn't work with that woman.
Interesting.
And so and then of the people now, this girl Halsey.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Sandy, did you hear that?
That
She's
girl.
my favorite.
Yeah, that girl is definitely a person that I would love to collaborate with.
There you go. All right, we got to make some magic here, Sandy. Let's see if we can get.
That's of the new ones.
Let's see if we can get a department to get Halsey in here.
But there's so many people. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I would have loved to have done a record with Tupac.
Yeah, I mean, well,
uh,
Bob Marley. I mean,
Oh,
think
Bob
about it.
Marley. I got to meet his family, which was very cool. There's so many people. I mean, I would love to do a record with Sting. Okay.
But the all-time right now, you would say David Bowie, though.
Absolutely.
Dope.
Question of a doubt.
All right, well, this is the intermission part, man. Let's have some fun. You ready to have some fun?
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. This segment is called This or That. This or That. That's what it's called. Basically, it's a little segment where we have some fun with you guys, and you guys get to chime in. We have a ton of listeners right now, and we want you guys to chime in on all these things happening. All right, let me see. I got to keep track of this over here too. All right, it's on. It's live. Done. I gotta lower the volume here.
By the way,
'cause
those that were
we're about
watching
to go
me on
live on
Instagram
another.
Live, you're watching again because Instagram shut me off there for a moment. but I think we're back on. Right?
Yeah. That's so weird.
What?
This thing is not letting me in.
Oh.
Super weird. So we have another special thing that's happening. I've already told you about it, but I don't want to give it away to the listeners here. But let's get started on this or that. We'll get into it. I gotta get into that Zoom link. All right, ready, Sandy?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Eating outside or cooking at home?
You're asking me?
That's right. Eating outside or cooking at home?
Cooking at home.
Cooking at home. Listeners, you guys get to chime in right now. Tell us what you think. Eating outside or cooking at home? Cooking at home, why?
I could cook.
You could cook? You get down?
Oh, yeah.
But in the kitchen or on the grill?
No, I can, anywhere. Anywhere.
Is it from playing with the pots and pans? You know, ding, ding, dong, dong,
Well,
ding.
that yeah, but no, I can
He
cook.
cooks on arroz con pollo, but it's with flavor.
That's my son. I can cook. I can cook.
He gets down. Oh yeah. He just don't want to go hungry. Is it?
Yeah. No. He knows what's up.
What's your favorite dish Bobby cooks? That's a hard question.
I know.
I
which
told you
one-
we should
I
give
know
you a
which
mic.
one his favorite is. The portobello mushrooms stuffed with shrimp
Wow.
and
you fancy?
and pasta. Yeah.
Oh, you over there sprinkling?
Oh yeah. I'm throwing it from the
Sandy.
elbow.
Eating outside or cooking at home?
I like home cooked meals.
Home cooked meals, but you don't cook. Well, there goes that. All right. Let's see what everybody else is saying. Madeline says music is a beautiful way of life with ups and downs. Music takes you there. Barbara Perez, love to NGO. What is it?
NGO, the Ngo. That's my son's name. Ngo.
Oh, okay. NGO. Barbara Perez. Do you know Barbara?
Yes, she's my goddaughter.
Oh, okay. All right. There she goes. Hello.
Hello, Flaca.
Oh, mushrooms. You put mushrooms, quote, exclamation.
She's had some, as you can see.
Everybody loves that cook, huh? For me, it's cooking. Definitely, I'm definitely big into cooking myself. I'm a big cook. So now, but man, but you don't eat red meat. As I was gonna say, I'll do churrasco.
I could eat bison.
What's the difference?
It's not a cow. The reason why I cannot eat red meat is because I have a spiritual
Okay,
thing that was taken away from me.
understood. No problem.
So I have to use red meat to clean myself. So I cannot
Understood.
eat what I clean myself with.
Understood. 100%.
But bison is not a cow. So
Bison's
there
not
goes
a
the
cow.
bison population.
I've never
had bison?
I've had bison in New York.
It's amazing.
I had a bison burger.
Oh, yes. Fuddruckers has one that's really good.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't think it was real bison though.
You got to pay us now because we just plugged you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show me the money.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's real bison. And it's real good.
I really want that money now. All right. Working as a team or working alone?
It's my turn?
100%.
Team. I have never in my life been into being
Solo?
solo. Never.
Okay.
I'm definitely a team player.
What's probably your favorite team right now?
As far as the sports?
Creative.
Oh, creative team?
Yeah.
Well, I have, a creative team in my own home. Ache, is definitely my present most favorite.
I'm throwing you a plug.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely that, that's our baby project right now. That's our thing. That's what we really want to get out there. So yeah. But I've always been into teams. I've always wanted to have bands, and all that kind of stuff. I don't like the loneliness of a big stage.
Okay. I could see that. Sandy, what about you?
I believe teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Cool. I like that.
All right.
There's another T-shirt right there.
All right. Let's ask your son. Teamwork? Yeah, teamwork. All right. Cool. Yeah, I'm teamwork.
Him and I are a team.
There's a lot of things though that I need my own creative space though.
Well, everybody needs to work on their own part. Okay, like for instance, if you're in a football team, the quarterback needs to go over there and throw the ball, while the wide receiver needs to run a couple laps, stuff like that.
Right.
But then they have to come together to make it all work. And to me, that is the essence. When you can, it's not just making something together with somebody, but sharing the victory of it with somebody is the most important part of a team to me.
100%.
Because what is success if you're just going to share it with yourself? That's
Fact. I like that.
That's a T-shirt.
That's another
Damn.
T-shirt. We're making T-shirts over here.
Let's do it.
We're making mugs.
T-shirt company now.
All right. Beer or wine?
Wine.
Wow. I didn't expect that one.
I don't drink anymore. Okay, but if I would have to drink, I would definitely drink wine. Red wine.
Okay.
I used to drink a lot.
I didn't see that one coming, man.
Yeah.
I thought you were a beer guy.
No, I'm
It was a
actually not
goatee.
into liquor, period.
At all.
At all. I
All
don't
right.
drink, period.
Other substances?
Yeah, I smoke.
Okay. All right. It's okay.
That's cool.
That's good. Sandy, beer or wine?
Wine.
Beer or wine? Beer. Yeah, I'm a beer guy.
He does. He drinks his Coronas. I used to
Corona. We can't say that word anymore.
Yeah, right. In secret society, okay, I used to have on my rider that you had to have a gallon or a liter, at least, of Jack Daniels, and 3 cases of Corona chilled, and that was just for my show, which was about 45 minutes to an hour.
And that was your thing.
Yeah, and I was drinking that like water. But then I got this huge hole in my stomach called an ulcer.
And that was it, huh?
And I said, the hell with this. This is not me. And, I've never really
Hold on.
liked
There we go.
alcohol.
Mute this. There we go.
Like it. I've never really liked it, It actually makes me aggressive, so.
Let's see if I can mute this. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So we have another special guest who's going to be coming on in just a few minutes, and we're waiting for him to come with us and come live. All right, let me see if I can turn this on. Let's start that video. There, they can watch us here on Pass the Mic for a little bit. Boom. Am I blocking any of the cameras, Sandy, or am I good?
We're good.
We're good. All right, perfect. Let's open up this so we can see everything. There we go.
Well,
All
there's
right.
a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
This Zoom stuff is crazy, man.
It's intense, huh?
It's crazy.
All right, next one. Here we go. Online or in-store shopping?
Nowadays, online, most definitely.
Before
In-store.
in-store?
Yeah. Yeah, because you could touch it. You could see it.
Okay.
Online, I've gotten some things online that don't look
Didn't work out.
anything like the picture at all. Especially all those Chinese jackets that come from Chinese companies. I didn't realize Chinese people were so small. I got an extra large, like 5 times the extra large.
This got real. This
Okay.
got super real.
And this thing did not even fit my arm. I was like, what size are these Chinese people? Are they midgets? What are these people? It was like 5 times extra large, man. It was crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's insane. So, I like to see things, I don't like to try them on, though. I like to go in a store, and I already know my size, so I go, I want 1 of those, 2 of those, 3 of those, buy. And I leave. I can't stand that looking around and trying it on and going into the dressing room. No. I can't stand that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
that's the online kind of helps with that,
It
but-
helps with dressing.
But that's like a Pandora's box, man. You don't know what you're gonna get, bro.
They washed it before they gave it to you. It's shrunk. It's shrunk.
And they look amazing. Like the pictures look incredible, and you're like, "Wow, this is so cheap." And then you realize why it's so cheap.
All right, so we got to make sure that we make sure that the shirts fit them. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
All right,
God.
Sandy, in store or online? I know this answer.
I like online shopping.
I figured. Yeah, that was boom. That was an easy one. Online?
Now yes, but in store.
You're an in-store too?
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 split.
50-50.
Yeah, before, like, I don't buy clothes online, but I
Mhm.
buy a lot of other things online.
Yeah, like tools and stuff like that is kind of cool.
I just
you know?
buy almost.
Bro,
It depends.
I have to admit to something. I bought this one thing that I'm sure everybody has seen it. It's like this thing that looks like a pen and has a little ball, and then it shocks you so that you can exercise.
I'm glad you finished the rest of that sentence.
Okay.
I'm glad you finished the rest of that
it wasn't what you
sentence.
thought it was going to be. But anyway,
I'm sure everybody has seen what. Where is he going with this?
You know, this thing
Where
is like
is he
it's
going
like,
with this?
Wait, it's like a check this out. It's like a wait.
What are we
It's like-
putting in this water? What is
This is like a pressure
the
point.
thunder's about to start
No,
again.
but check this out. You're gonna die when I tell you this. This is like a pressure point thing, right? And you know, and you're supposed to put it there, and it relieves like pain or whatever, right? So I bought it on Instagram, and it gets to my house, and I turn this on, and and I don't feel nothing. And then I touch something as I am putting it on. I almost gave myself a heart attack because I had put the thing all the way, and I made ground with something. And when I touched my skin, immediately the shock that went through my body must have been like 12,000 volts. I was like,
We gotta look that up and put that on the screen.
So don't buy that pen because it does not take away pain, and it could give you a heart attack. Trust me.
Bro. You need to get a shake weight, bro.
Yeah. No, de madre.
Can you picture Pops in the room?
Bro, I just touched. I don't know. I don't remember what it was that I touched. I made ground and I'm like, whoa. And then I couldn't get rid of it, which is, when you electrocuting yourself, you can't get unstuck. So I had to like kind of toss it like that to let go, and I'm like, I'm never playing with this thing again, man.
Oh, my lasagna.
So it was like a taser, man.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. That's too funny.
So don't buy the pen.
There you go. So shopping online could be a bad thing if you buy a long stick that has a ball at the end that shocks you.
That's electric. Yes, that's electric. Be careful, people. Long sticks that are electric.
Oh man, I'm definitely getting shut down after this.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be
good.
good. All right. There were certain rules, and we're abiding through all of them, so don't worry about it.
Thank God.
We know the gray area between the black and white.
Bro.
All right, here we go. Live in the past or present?
Present.
Good answer. Sandy,
Present.
I wasn't asking if you were here.
Did she just raise her hand?
50-50. Oh, he's got some stuff that he has to pick up in the past.
I guess.
There was some good stuff that happened back then or something? Oh, okay. So he's like me. He was born in the wrong era.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about past before you were born.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm definitely the same way. I feel like I was born in the wrong era. You like certain things in the present.
But the question
you
was...
you like the amenities of now, but the old school feel.
Right, but the question that you were asking was, do I like living in my present
Or
life,
do you like living in
do
your
I
past?
like going back to my
Right,
past?
that was the question. So I think you misunderstood it. So do you like living in the present or do you like living in the past? You like living in the present time? Okay. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
But I get what you were going with that. And I agree with you. On that. All right, so you're an indoor guy or an outdoor guy?
Outdoor if it's nature, like trees and the woods and mountains. I
So
love
you would
that.
never live in New York. Okay, hold on. We gotta go into this. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't told you guys, but we have Naughty by Nature on the Zoom call. So we're gonna go in real quick. We'll stay quiet for a second. We'll see if we can get in here. Okay, let's see. We'll listen into the conversation. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I'm still muted. Let me make sure I unmute this here.
First thing, and how was he involved with the production? Because he's under some of the production.
So I'm going to give you
names under
guys
that album.
a little bit about what's going
And,
on. So we're in a Zoom
the,
call with a
that's
bunch of
about it
DJs.
right now.
I'm going to lower this a little bit. We're in a Zoom call with a bunch of DJs, and they're talking to Naughty by Nature, and this is something that we had set up beforehand, and I couldn't change the date. And so basically, this is our opportunity to have Frank Lord's here and Naughty by Nature all at the same time.
I'm down with OPP.
And and you can even ask some questions, bro.
Oh, cool.
You can even ask some questions. So in a few seconds, he's gonna bring me in, and we'll talk to him. So we'll listen to what they're asking, and we'll go from there.
In the 90s, the West Coast gang activity was going crazy, and the East Coast too. It was
Hopefully
just
they don't
bleeding
curse.
Over. So we soften the
Boy.
blow and put a little
Hopefully.
humor in it by instead of
Usually
the
they're
regular
pretty clean
drive-by,
on these things.
It's
So
a water gun thing. Bring some fun.
let's bring you in on the picture there.
Let's go over to Jesse.
Oh,
Jesse,
I guess
unmute
not.
yourself and say hello.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, what up, man?
How you doing, bro?
All right.
I
got a
guess we
question.
were next.
So I video DJ for a living. So you guys did a song called "Wickedest Man Alive."
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys make a video for that? Because I would imagine in the '90s that would have been perfect and would have killed it.
I know, right? That's
What happened was really with that is because when we first came out, OPP was the A side, and Wickedest Man Alive was the B side. And a lot of people actually from that 12-inch was playing Wickedest Man Alive, and some, a lot of DJs, some
That's
not
KG.
everybody, but a lot of DJs at first were just like, kind of thought OPP might have been a little too commercial, and then the fact that it was featuring Queen Latifah, they were spinning that. So we had already shot the video for OPP, and they were pushing OPP, but it definitely did cross our mind at some point that we should do it, and we probably should have done it.
Hey, you know what? We're coming up on our 30th anniversary.
This is Vinny B,
next
Vinny
year.
Brown.
So, we're partnering with Flavor Unit for our 30th anniversary documentary. So maybe we'll holler at Queen and be like, you know what, Queen? We need to pop off that Wickedest Man Alive video.
Yeah,
but in the meantime, we got a real fly song with her now called God Is Us, which is a video for that too. So pick that up. It's really fly. Look it up. God Is Us featuring Queen Latifah. Great video too.
Let's go over to Mike Vibe. Mike.
Oh man, he keeps skipping us. All right, we're gonna lower this for right now. I don't want to. We'll just. I'll try to keep it in the background. Let me open up the chat room, and just see when he's gonna have us come on. I guess he's not paying attention right now. All right, so either way, all right, let's finish off this this or that segment. Sleep in.
No,
or,
wait, we were on the. We didn't get to do the.
Oh, indoor, outdoor.
Indoor,
okay,
right?
all right, yeah.
Did we?
But you said you were outdoor if it was nature.
If it was nature, yes.
But not city.
But not city. No, I
Sandy,
cannot
indoor,
be
outdoor.
in New York more than 3 days.
Okay.
I go crazy.
Like I said, we live out there, so
Yeah.
we like it over here. By the way, if you haven't lived in Kendall, you got to live in Kendall.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Awesome.
Sandy,
The outdoors.
outdoors. I'm definitely outdoors 100%.
Yes.
Definitely outdoors 100%. Sleep in or early bird?
Sleep in until 2 in the afternoon.
I already know your answer. She's a sleep in. I'm an early bird.
Yeah.
Sometimes. It depends on what I did the night before.
The thing is that while you're probably waking up, I'm still trying to go to sleep. Because
Again, it
I'll go to
depends on
sleep
what I
when
did the night before.
When the birds start singing is when I'm going to sleep.
It really depends on what I did the night before. If I had a gig or something, I'm going to sleep in a little bit. But it's usually, what it is that I sleep a certain amount of hours between 7 and I have to get them no matter what time I sleep.
Yeah, 'cause
So it
you
all
can't stay in
depends.
bed anymore.
Right. But I've gone to sleep really late and then woken up early just because I
Me
used
at
to waking
12,
up at that time.
12:30, that's when my body goes, get up. But before that, it's like, oof,
It's crazy.
hard.
Be the richest person or the smartest?
Smartest.
Why?
Because you can make money if you're smart.
Exactly.
Facts.
But you lose a lot of money if you're dumb.
Hashtag facts. You can have a lot of money and lose it because you're dumb.
Exactly.
What about you? Agreed. Everybody agreed. I think everybody agrees on here. Before we move on, Jose says, I don't believe either of you can cook. I think we have to have a cook-off and I'll be the judge.
Let's do it.
You know
Bring
what?
it on.
He's looking for free food. That's what he's looking
Bring
for.
it on, brother. Bring it on. I'll let you pick the meat. How's that? I'll let you pick the protein.
That's so funny. I know for a fact he's looking for free food. I know that guy. George Ojeda from Wepa says, Wepa.
Oh, my boy Georgie.
Distune Records owner George Ojeda What up to you, bud?
Wepa.
And then he goes, you don't sleep. That's a fact.
Me?
Oh, Frenchie's on. All right. He says, you don't sleep.
No, I don't.
He's talking about me too.
No.
I really don't.
I sleep, but
I'm working all the time.
You know, like in the daytime, like when everybody's up and at their job.
Madeline says, music is beautiful way of life. Your ups, your downs, music takes you there.
Yep.
It's a fact. I'm a mood DJ too, or I'm like a mood listener. That's better. I'm a mood listener. Depending on what mood I am is the song that I play.
Me too.
100%. Same guys? You got same for you guys? Mood listener when it comes to music? Or do you use music to elevate or up you?
Oh, most definitely. Music, sometimes you're down and you play something and it picks you up.
Picks you back up? All right.
Music helps me focus.
All right. I like it. I like it. A bunch of creative people in here. It's dope. You should, wait till you watch the other podcast. You're gonna be like, "What the heck is that guy doing? What's his creative process? What's her creative process? What is going on?" And if you want a really good laugh, you should watch my daughter. We brought her on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was the cutest thing. She's 4 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So she's 4 years old, but she talks up a storm.
Yeah, it's just like my granddaughter.
And yesterday she likes going live now because Poppy does it, so she wants
funny.
to. And yesterday she was cooking brownies.
Oh God.
So she has the camera there and she's learning how to read. So she grabs the phone. She's like, first.
How cute.
First. Mommy, he said first. It's hilarious.
That's cute.
It's hilarious, man. So definitely got to watch that one. All right. We're gonna go into more stuff here, into the big heavy topics.
Okay.
But before we do, let's see if we're gonna get on here. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay, so I want to make sure everyone had a turn to talk.
No.
Does anyone have any questions?
I had a question.
What-
Where can I find your video? For God is Us.
On YouTube. It's on the Naughty by Nature YouTube channel.
Yeah, Naughty by Nature, YouTube/Naughty by Nature.
Vinny and Kay, I didn't get to meet you guys. This is DJ Scorpio from Miami. I have here Frank Lords as well.
Hello guys.
What
All
up,
right.
yo?
Peace.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, man? We were live in the podcast, so we're live right now in our podcast, but I wanted to take the time to come in and thank you guys for coming in and talking to all of us. We really appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. I was talking to Scoop the other day, and hopefully we can get you guys on the show and we can have some fun and, talk about some other things happening in the industry.
Yeah, that's no problem. Hey, I want to address the panel, Of course, Naughty by Nature, we're old school guys, classic guys. We came up in the day and age where all of our radio reps, they made sure we understood the importance of the DJ and the importance of these long-term relationships. And, this is why we're so eager to do things like this. This is like, we do this all the time. So I'm just wondering, do you guys see with today's artists, do you think they're as conscious of having a relationship with DJs or, coming out and meeting and greeting the DJs? Or is it more like hands off and never mind those guys, they should be playing my music?
I think the biggest thing that artists are doing right now is they have an open platform to be able to push their music wherever they want. And it's really something that it depends on which person we're talking about or who's in front of them.
Right. Because regardless, I think a lot of today's artists, they rely so much heavily on social media, which, yeah, you get it in the consumer's hands, but there's all kinds of DJs out there, the clubs, the restaurants, the bars, or whatever, and DJs still have to play your records, so you can't just overlook that.
The influence is completely different than what it used to be. I think that the artists have a bigger chance now to break through, but there's just too many artists out there. There's too much music, and people are saturated because the market teaches us to follow, and there's no guidance now to follow. So creative criticism comes way differently from everybody's. You go to one person's Spotify playlist, and it's not going to be the same playlist as the last person that you see. So I think DJs have to open their minds and be really open to a lot of different artists. But I think that the artists should also include the DJs so that they can get influenced by their thought process and the creativeness that they put into those tracks, like what the deeper meaning is behind the song, so the DJ can put that feeling into their set.
There's also
Well, that reminds me of.
You know what it is, Ben, too? Part of it, too, is like what you said, Ben, is that a lot of these artists have this platform, and they come out with all of these different social media platforms that they feel like that they break off their platforms, and they feel like that they're breaking through social media or so many different ways that they feel like a DJ didn't help them break. So they, in their mind, they feel like they don't need a DJ. But in reality, you know, yeah, your social media helped you, and it did do you to a certain point. But it's the DJs that's also helping you get to another level.
well
Taking you from maybe a fifth listener to a 10th listener, or moving you world, you know, all around and saturating, as well as continuing to saturate your music in these streets. But
And the thing is that, you know, you get this feedback from the DJs because some records work well on radio, but a lot of records don't work well in the club. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So it's always good to have that feedback from the DJs, like, yo, I played this in the club and it was, and I understand it may be performing on the internet, but they're not feeling that in the club, you know?
And I don't really 100% blame them because they come up in a different era. We come up in an era where, you know, everything had to first off be white label or promo, and then the first thing you did is give it to a DJ. And these guys
Exactly.
they're coming up in a time where their first thing is just like, listen, I'm gonna post it on my social media.
Back in the day, there was no social media. Back in the day, you had to walk into the club.
So I can't fault them, but I just do think that they definitely still have to, you know, that somebody has to
He just
educate them
muted us.
to respect the aspect of the DJ.
Let's go over to Decade. You want to say something real quick?
Yeah, I think they're, you know, like we're saying about, I think some artists are DJ friendly. Like they want to hear the DJ's opinion. They want to give the record to the DJ. They want to get, you know, in cahoots with the DJ. But I think some artists, especially in today, like all they care about is the money. Show me the money, show me the money, show me the money. They don't care about the DJ. The DJs,
Do you think
they
that's
don't
true?
give a F about the DJ. And, you know, that's pretty much how it is. Like, look at Drake, for instance.
Some DJs
He's making these songs for TikTok.
Oh, they can't
you know,
hear you
that
right
are
now.
blowing up,
Some DJs
you know,
are
social media, blowing up
unreachable.
TikTok. Everybody's doing
You
these
can't walk up to
dances
the
that
DJ
he's-
booth
that he's
anymore.
creating
Like
songs
he's-
No,
for.
no, yeah,
You know,
no.
so he's
And
smart.
DJs will
He's
shoo
thinking that
you
he's
away and
doing it
don't
for
even know who you
everybody,
are.
not just
Exactly.
for
So
money, even though he's making money from it, but he's doing it more
it goes
for
both ways.
the whole
I've had a
the whole
lot of DJs
population
tell me,
to
send
get
it to
involved
me
with his music.
instead of me
So
giving
it's,
it to them.
it's a smart idea that he's doing, and he's making all these TikTok songs. But I think, you know, I've been doing this 25 years. So I've come from old school too as a DJ, you know, so I know how it was, and, you know, with the white labels and that. But I think as far as today, you know, it's a lot of artists that aren't as DJ friendly as it used to be. They're like, show me the money, show me the money, show me. I'm leaving the club and I'm leaving my concert. That's it. I don't want to talk to anybody. Just leave me alone. Give me my limo and take me home. You know,
Thanks, Decade. Guys, there's one other person I want to thank because he's kind of responsible for this Zoom session, and that's Jamal up there, who's kind of been observed. But I mean, he's the reason why like all this is happening, and he's it's guys like him that make my job easier because you get professionalism, and I just want to say thank you to him. So just so you guys know, Jamal is up there. He's the reason for all
And
this.
we'll explain. Jamal is actually the general manager of our venture, KG and myself. Our venture is Slugger Ventures, and we have a label side, so it's Slugger Music. And Kay and I partnered up. So, you know, we're putting out new artists. Right now, we're working a young 17-year-old girl. She's kind of like pop, crossover pop, Nicole Michelle. Then we have another brother, Ryan Lane. He has a great, like, throwback R&B club banger called Forever. And we have a slew of artists, slew of new music that we'll be putting out as we lead into our 30th anniversary. So we're definitely doubling down on Naughty by Nature's 30th anniversary, but look out for the Slugger Music label and the Slugger Music that'll be coming through there. So Jamal is our point person, and he connects all of these dots for us.
Thank you, Jamal.
Dope.
Yes, thank you guys.
If we have a second, I see you talked about the baseballs. You brought up the slugger. The baseball bats are on everything. Is it passion for the game, is the passion for the sport of baseball? Because that's been something that's been consistent throughout the
he's
time
getting his
that
pizza.
I've seen anything with you guys' name
KG
on it.
is getting his pizza.
Yeah, well, not
Unfortunately, you guys can't
necessarily
see this
baseball,
who are live
just
with
that
us.
when the logo was being
But shout out to Naughty by Nature for getting to join us for just a few moments. We'll take them off for now.
Down with OPP.
Down with OPP. Yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get these guys on the show afterwards, and we'll call you back in. I mean, you're only 10 minutes away.
I'm 10 minutes, man.
Get you back in here. Get you back in here.
I can walk here.
Good exercise.
Yes.
After
absolutely.
the portobello mushrooms.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some hot topics, man. This is
Okay.
where it's gonna get a little crazy. Do you got
boy.
time? Do you got
Yeah.
time? All right, cool. You
I
got
ain't
time?
nothing to do.
All right, perfect. All right, here we go. Miami-Dade mayor closes on-site dining from midnight to 6 a.m. until further notice, in hopes of taming down. I don't think it was tampering. Taming down COVID-19 cases. I missed that typo. So basically, he's closing down most places, I guess, to stop people from gathering up. But if you're already congregated in a restaurant, 9, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, what's the difference?
Exactly. I mean, I personally think that the government itself does not even know fully what they are dealing with. Okay, the way that this whole thing has been, attended to, is completely out of control on a worldwide level, not just on a national level. Things keep coming up, new information keeps coming up every day. So like they're just now getting to the tip of the iceberg of what this really is. And personally, I think they opened up a little too soon, everybody, they were trying to prove something and it's actually hitting them in their face. Right now, I think nobody should be out there doing anything, to be honest with you, because nobody even knows what we're dealing with.
I'm push and pulled on that. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel that it's like any other disease, like any other a virus. I think that sometimes you need to be introduced to these things so that your body can, get past it. There's no way of us, completely sanitizing the world. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
And there's not even enough Lysol to stock in the rooms to keep for us.
This is the actual planet itself
cleaning itself.
back.
Cleaning itself. Well, it could be synthesized by humans, which we are almost 100% sure that it was probably something along those lines.
For sure.
Okay, but here's the thing. We can't be skeptics to what it may be, and we can't really say, okay, it was this or this. What we have to do is deal with the problem that's in front of us. The problem that's in front of us is a viral virus. It hurts older people, and really, that's really where it's hurting the most. There are a lot of young people that have been affected by it, but they might have had underlying diseases. There's young people that die every day, and it's very unfortunate, but factual numbers in the United States, from everything that I've read, the flu every year kills more. So to me, it's something that I think that we still need to just be introduced.
There's a big difference, though. There's this thing called 5G, okay, that along with...
That's a tough one for me, man.
Along with that...
I know where you're going with this one.
Along with other radioactive things that are happening on this planet.
Okay.
They're bringing things to the surface that have been under the ocean for millions of years, okay? This is coming up to the surface because of warming under there. They're not used to that kind of temperature. Okay?
Aliens.
Well, they're alien because they're alien to us.
No, I'm talking about aliens.
Well, yeah, they're down there,
and then we're talking about the Stephen King book that the government's writing right now.
These bacteria, because this is bacteria.
Release the mosquitoes.
let me clarify something. This COVID-19 is not a flu. This is bacteria.
Okay.
Okay. It's not killing people through pneumonia. It's killing people through blood clots in the lungs.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, if you want to get rid of the flu, or if you want to get rid of that, if you catch it, what you really need to do is you need to make this big glass of hot lemon juice, 3 aspirins, real aspirins, okay, mixed inside there, and honey so that it tastes a little bit better. And you drink that every morning for 3 days. Your coronavirus is gone. Because
I thought we weren't supposed to have aspirin.
Well, hold on a second. Aspirin is one of the safest things
Oh,
in the world.
ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen. No, I'm
Okay,
talking about
ibuprofen.
aspirin,
All right.
Bayer aspirin, like
Okay.
regular aspirin.
Right, Bayer
Not
aspirin, which is the
Advil.
thing that's for your heart when you're having a heart attack, et cetera, et cetera.
What does it do? If you take a baby aspirin every day, your blood becomes thin.
Right.
So then if you take these 3 aspirins in one dose, okay, it's going to thin your blood out to the point where it's going to liquefy the blood clots that are inside of your lung. This
Okay.
is the same thing that they do to a person when they have a pulmonary embolism. My mother and my father have both had that. They put them on blood thinners.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of people that are on blood thinners are not catching this disease because it's not giving the disease a chance to coagulate inside of your lung.
Okay.
Now, what I was saying about the 5G is that it's bringing in other viruses that we do not even know about yet. Like, just stay in tune. In the next 3 months, you're going to hear the words swine flu again. Remember, I said that here on your show. You're going to hear that again.
Everybody will remember. This is up forever.
3 months, you're going to
3
hear
months.
the word swine flu again. Okay?
Sandy, put it on the calendar. In
But
3
this-
months, we're going to hear
Well,
swine
hold
flu.
on. This swine flu is on turbo. This is not like the old swine flu. This swine flu is on turbo. It's
I hope
starting
you're
in
wrong,
China.
man.
No, I'm not wrong.
I hope you are, though.
Trust me. Another thing now on a spiritual level, I've known about all this for 30 years. I have tons of people that can verify that. I have it in writing. I have it recorded. Okay? 30 years ago, my spirit, my main spirit, which is this Indian right here on this right arm, he started telling people through me, like possessing and telling people for 30 years, prepare for this, prepare for that, prepare for this, to the detail. To the detail. I'm going to send you a letter later.
You couldn't send me a heads up, bro?
Well, now I know you. I got you now. I'm going to send you a letter. If I remember to, I'll send you a letter later that was actually printed in 2002, I think.
Right.
Okay. Talking about everything that's happening right now. Okay. This whole thing has a much, if you want to get deep, we can get deep. This whole thing has a much bigger sense to it than just an infection, people. This is all about vaccines. It's all about computer chips. It's all about things that they want to put into our body that they will put into our body, okay, because they're going to force us to. They're scaring people to the point where you will have no choice but to put this vaccine on, okay? And then once this vaccine is already in you, now you have the virus, okay? But you also have a chip in there, okay? They're actually watching everybody right now. Everybody's phone right now has a COVID thing in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
And you don't even
true.
know it.
100% true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on mine, I said, this hasn't been seen in the last 24 hours or whatever. Like, like they're checking me every 24 hours.
Yeah.
So I stick a birdie out at them every once in a while, just in case they're looking at me. One of these days, I'm gonna pull my pants on and show them, a moon. But basically,
he's getting warmed up, ladies and gentlemen. He's getting warmed up.
Trust me. This is all so that somebody makes a lot of money. Because imagine if right now you would have the fear of God in you, that you cannot go outside your house or your children, because if you breathe the air, if you breathe it, you can die. You will put yourself through anything that you have to save yourself and your children. You'll drink urine if you have to, if they tell you this is what's going to cure you. So they're building this up to this whole gigantic thing, okay, simply to be able to shoot you up with this thing that's going to go in your body. And it's even on the Bible, okay? And it's funny because on the Bible it says that the mark of the devil will be found on man, on his hand, between his, I believe it's his index and his middle finger, or between his eyebrows. And these are the only 2 places where this supposed computer chip can be actually installed in a human being. And the computer chip is made so that all of your medical information is on it, okay? All of your everything. It'll come to a point where you will be able to scan your hand and you can pay
your bills. Yeah.
And at the end of the week of work, your boss is going to scan your hand and there's your paycheck going right into your hand.
Clocking in, clocking out.
Okay. But the most important part is that somebody can actually know where you are at all times because you have a chip. And then if you misbehave, they can press a little button and bye-bye. In 24 hours, they let off a virus into you and you're dead. This is what people do not realize.
Isn't that crazy?
It's very crazy.
I've been watching the shift a little bit on that part. Do I think 5G is really affecting us?
It will. It's not because it hasn't been fully installed yet.
That would, if that were the case, then you know how radio was made, right?
Absolutely.
Well, the reason radio is what radio is because of radioactive waves.
Radio waves.
Okay.
But if you go back in history, and you look at every single one of those inventions, when the radio was invented, there was a humongous pandemic, killed a bunch of people. When TV was invented, another one. When microwaves were invented, another one. Look it up. It's all there. It's all there. Just go back.
Well, I know the scientist who actually started with
it.
radio. It was a gentleman in the United States, and then there was another guy in the UK, and he claimed that he was able to get on for like 45 seconds or something. Then the scientist was really bummed about it and said there's no way that he was able to do it. There's no real clarification. Worked on it really hard, found a way to create the antenna. Then from the antenna, he let out the waves that went out to be able to play music. Was the first thing with his family in his home. He played the violin while singing with his wife, and they recorded it to all the merchants of sea. So basically, there was no way of communicating from land to sea, and that was the first way that he hacked basically into every CB radio in there and was able to communicate to everybody via radio.
Right. The thing is that we,
for over an hour, I believe it was.
the human body, okay, is an actual battery. We are like a battery, like the battery that you put in your car or in a phone or somewhere. We have a negative and a positive inside of us, okay? What makes us alive is actual steam. It's water, okay? We are actually 99% water. A lot of people say 1/3. It's not true. We're 99% water. The other 1% is this thing that is called the mitochondria, which is the lining that's on the outside of every single one of our cells. Nobody knows what that's made out of, okay? Water is everything else that's inside of every single one of the billions of cells that we have in our bodies. So we're like a battery, okay? And we have to maintain a certain temperature of heat. Like our bodies are like 95 degrees, more or less 98 degrees all the time. This is what creates the steam. That's why when you blow out into a glass, you fog it up. We have steam inside of us. When we die, there is no more steam. That's why when you touch a dead body, it's cold because there's no more heat inside of you, okay? So if you're getting this outside radio wave, okay, and you're projecting this outside radio wave through a phone that you have on your ear or you have it next to your hand or whatever, okay, and it's coming at you, okay, it's almost like if you get this cup of coffee and you put it in the microwave and you hit go. It's heating up that coffee.
By vibration.
So then this radio wave or this microwave, this 5G, is heating up our water inside of our body.
Our core temperature.
And then when that core temperature gets hot, everybody knows that if we go to 105 or above, we can have brain problems.
Correct.
We can have seizures. We can have death, okay? So this is cooking us on the inside without us even realizing it. The radios on the car is cooking you inside. The microwave that you stand in front of is cooking you inside. The world is so webbed right now with radioactive waves all around it that we are inside this web. We cannot get loose from that. We would have to move to the moon or something to be able to get away from it, okay? So basically, this is what I'm talking about, the whole 5G. The 5G is not that it's killing you, it's that it's getting that virus and it's multiplying it. Not to mention that virus inside of it, the people that created that virus, and I say it very openly, this was created, okay? They put AIDS inside of that virus. They put cancer inside of that virus. They put all the swine flus and all of the COVIDs and all of the coronaviruses. Inside of that one little virus is all of these viruses, okay? That's why people that take the cocktails for AIDS are not catching this disease, okay? Because they're fighting it through the cocktail that they're taking already for AIDS, okay? So this virus has 1%, I don't know if it's 10% or 3% or whatever of AIDS inside of it. I can send you all this stuff. I have some really deep stuff that I could send you that you would start looking at this completely different.
Are you doing Blackbird?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
All right. So I know there's a back web for Blackbird.
No, I just get, some things from people that are very tuned in and
to what's going on
on a spiritual level as well. Like I said, I've known about this for 30 years and I have it in proof. Like it's there on
in
paper.
Writing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah.
And I've known about a lot of people
and
that have
what
been
the new one
saying
is?
some things.
The new one is going to be weather control.
That's been in the talk for like ever now.
That's coming.
That's
been
in
coming.
the talk forever.
In 2 years.
They're saying that that's already like a thing.
It's a thing, but they're not really letting it out. In 2 years, you're going to see weather wars. In other words, when somebody wants to really mess up another country, they're going to just pour water on them for 40 days and they're going to drown.
Crazy.
That's already being planned. So
wow.
There's a lot of things under the curtain that a lot of people are just completely blind about, man. And, you know, we got to take our planet back, because the bottom line is that what we are giving to our children and our grandchildren is an atrocity. This is not the world that I would want my grandchildren or great-grandchildren to live in.
It's a crazy world right now.
And you know what the funny thing is? I've always talked about this with people. You know, I've said, if people would realize that they reincarnate, okay, that once we leave this body, we're going to come back to another body that's going to live for another 80 years, let's say, right?
Mm-hmm.
If people would realize that they have to come back to live in this planet again as somebody else, they would not treat the planet the way that they're treating it. Like, in other words, they would not kill the trees, because they know that they're going to come back in another body that's going to live for another 50, 60, 70 years, and so on and so on and so on. Okay? So we have to come back. It's not just our children. Our spirit has to come back in another body to deal with what we left here. You know? It's like that saying, that meme that I've seen a couple times, you know, that real people, the real, you know, people that love the earth are the people that are going to plant a tree that they know they're never going to sit under to get shade. If everybody had that philosophy, I'm going to plant this tree right now, even though I know I'm never going to be able to sit under it, because it's going to take 100 years before this thing even gives a shade, okay, then this whole world would change, because we're thinking of the future. People just live right now for the now. And they don't care. I'm going to turn on my car. I'm going to put all this pollution in the air. I'm going to throw all this pollution on the floor. I'm going to crap on everybody on this planet, because I'm going to die when I'm 75 anyway. So who cares?
Okay.
That's a mentality that has this world the way it is.
I can see that.
Yeah. They don't care.
Do you feel we shouldn't have the amenities that we have then?
To be honest with you, man, I feel that mankind is so stupid, okay, that they actually had to create a stop sign. Okay? Check this out. You're in a four-way street. There's a guy coming 50 miles an hour. Don't you know you got to stop?
Okay, but what if both cars are coming at 50 miles an hour?
Then we need to be a little bit more considerate. That's the problem. It's like, stop and let the guy through. Why does everybody have to get through the road at the same time? Then crash and kill yourself because you're a dumb MF.
Okay.
You know? So they have to put
I got nervous on that one. It puckered a little bit on that.
Yeah, I know. I like doing that to you every once in a while. That's how I know you're paying attention.
I was like, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes.
So if I have to put a stop sign there, or if I have to put, you know, the 10 Commandments, or if I have to put the Constitution, it's because you're stupid enough not to know that you shouldn't do that. You're stupid enough not to know you shouldn't kill a person.
Well, when we had the conversation about your religion, right? What was the thing that I told you that I live my life by?
I can't remember now.
I basically said that I've studied many, but for me, what makes it right and what makes it good for me is that if my hairs on the back of my neck stand up, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's your own spirit. And the back of your neck, that's where your main spirit lives.
Isn't that crazy?
Believe it or not. Yeah, it's called Egun Echu Ni Bako, right back here in the third vertebrae of your neck. That's where your main spirit.
Can you slow that down one more time for me? Can we rewind that?
Egun
Eshu
Ni Bako.
Bako.
That is your main spirit that lives on your Egun Eshu Ni Bako.
You had to learn all this, bro.
Be careful. Be careful. You're about to say a bad word in African. And you could get taken off of YouTube in Nigeria.
That would be it. That would be it for me. That would be it. You know, we have listeners from Nigeria.
Awesome. Ashe Alafia.
There you go, man. we actually have, I have like at least a good 300 people from Nigeria.
Nigeria is the place right there, man. That's where all black people came from there.
Yeah.
The black people that we have on this side of the earth now came from there, from Nigeria and from the Congo.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy. All right, so here's some positivity in this one, but this one went super viral. All right, so now the new thing is don't be Karen. You got it? You guys ready for this?
Oh, God.
Don't be a Karen. A Starbucks employee received nearly $80,000 in tips after refusing to serve a customer who didn't want to wear a mask. Don't be a Karen.
Yay.
So you're good with this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
To me, it is a disrespect that you would not wear a mask.
Okay, so their rebuttal to this is, we're not disrespecting you. We are exercising our right to be a free human being.
Free to what? Give me a disease?
I don't have a disease.
How do you know?
I don't know.
So then you're actually exposing me to something you don't know.
How do you know I have a disease?
I don't. But if we both take, I'm talking to Karen right now.
You're talking to Karen.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Hi, Karen. You're so sexy. Anyway, but if
you're
we
not too bad yourself. I love your dark voice.
But if we both,
can you take off your mask so I can hear it clearly?
You're gonna get taken off of YouTube for all that stuff. Okay, leave the porn out of it. If we both wear a mask, we are both caring for each other because we don't know. That's the truth of it. Is not even these tests that they're doing now are accurate, because these tests, they will tell you if you've had a coronavirus. Everybody here has had a coronavirus. Maybe not the COVID-19, but a coronavirus, everybody has had it.
It's so funny because people say, oh, but why does the back of the Lysol can say coronavirus?
It's been around for years.
Blah, blah, blah. It's been synthesized
Forever.
for a long time.
Forever.
You know what's even crazier? The movies that people, quote on Instagram and stuff. They were like, oh, did you see this Chinese movie? And it's like so realistic to what's happening now. And it was made in 2018 or... Because this has been thought of.
Of course. No, this has
before.
existed. Coronavirus has existed for many years. The Lysol bottle, I think, is 50 years old or longer.
Yeah.
And it's on the back. It's there. It's been there forever.
I would love to be able to show you a new one, but the problem is that they're sold out.
Exactly. You can't find it. So that's another thing. See, this is another thing that really gets me about this whole thing. And I know we're talking about Karen, but, it's so funny. When this whole coronavirus thing hit, there was no toilet paper, no Lysol, no hand sanitizer anywhere. So what happened? These companies actually stopped working? Because I know that when the store gets rid of all the toilet paper, a week later or 2 days later, it's there. So did these people stop making this product? Because we haven't even had toilet paper for the past 5 months. So you got to get just one pack. And then hand sanitizer, whatever. So
I have what they call a big culito. And so I can just jump to the toilet and then went from the toilet to the sink and splash plop, 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 plop.
Well,
and I'm good, bro.
I have a bidet, so I don't care. But anyway,
I have nothing to worry about.
It's so interesting.
That's what happens when you have a big culito. You get
no filter.
No.
It's so interesting how these products just cease to exist all of a sudden. And then you're like saying, what's really going on here? What is really behind all this stuff? I think, like, for instance, you remember when back when the anthrax scare was out, that they told everybody that they had to go and tape their windows with that gray duct tape?
Yeah, it didn't work for Andrew, so I don't think it was gonna work for anthrax.
But do you remember that? You remember that? And everybody, it was on the news. Everybody should duct tape their windows with silver.
All it reminded me of was like the Bible when they were like, you need to put blood on your door.
Exactly. Well, check this out.
It's crazy.
That week, every single Home Depot or whatever sold out of duct tape. And you know who the owner of the biggest duct tape manufacturer in the United States was? Dick Cheney. That MF made a lot of money that week.
I wonder who owns Lysol.
Oh, bro, I wouldn't doubt that it's Trump or one of these guys. For sure.
Charmin.
For sure.
All right, let's get into the next one. You ever watch Beavis and Butthead?
Absolutely.
Tiki for my bunghole.
I love it.
Conjolio.
I love Beavis and Butthead.
All right. So there was our impression, ladies and gentlemen.
What about Beavis and Butthead?
You can send the check somewhere else, all right? All right, Beavis and Butthead is back for a reboot. They're entering a new Gen Z world. How do you think these kids are going to react to Beavis and Butthead? You ever watch Beavis and Butthead?
You know what?
All right.
I actually think they're going to accept them. because Beavis and Butthead is like very unfiltered.
True.
You
They
know?
were like, they wanted to be banned back then. I think now it's the
Yeah.
norm.
So I think now it's going to be actually really even cooler because they're probably going to get away with more stuff.
Think about like Family Guy. Family Guy compared to Beavis and Butthead back then
Oh.
is clean.
Oh, yeah,
Beavis and Butthead is
absolutely.
clean compared
Absolutely.
to Family Guy.
Yeah.
Or-
Beavis and
or-
Butthead was almost satanic back then.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
people
remember
didn't like it because they thought, Metallica and all that stuff.
Parents were really like
Yep.
rebelling against it. It
Yep.
was the Marilyn Manson of cartoons.
Yep.
It was the Marilyn Manson of cartoons. All right, Florida sheriff says he will deputize gun owners if violent protests erupt.
Oh my God. Deputized gun owners. Okay, cool. The Wild Wild West. That's all we needed. A bunch of crazy people with now the license to actually go and shoot somebody. I have guns, by the way.
The Purge?
Oh, yeah.
Plug. I'm a gun owner, by the way.
Yes, I do. I do, because anybody that's going to come around my place to, to take a can of tuna is going to take lead with them. That's
Actually,
for sure.
I don't know if we're allowed to say that, are we?
What?
On YouTube. Yeah, I don't think we could talk about bang toys.
Oh, no?
No, I think that was one of the things that
About
we can't
guns,
talk.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject apparently. So we gotta kind of stay away from that.
Okay.
But we're talking about something positive here, right? We're saying,
Exactly.
hey, don't go outside just doing bad things. Use your brain, people. Make sure you read the stop sign.
Yeah. It's there, big and red.
All right, let's go into some fun topics, man. I'm tired of all this craziness. We have enough of this craziness in the world. All right, what's your one goal you had in life that people looked at you crazy for having?
My career.
Your career. I thought you were going to say your religion.
No, my religion, people have actually criticized me. They've called me everything from a devil worshiper to, whatever.
But you wouldn't call it a goal to like have better spiritual awareness or awakening, and then people looked at you crazy for having it?
That grew with me, to be honest with you. So it wasn't like a
you don't
goal.
even see any people.
No,
anyway.
my whole spiritual connection to my religion is almost like me with a bunch of friends. Okay?
Is your son as well?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Did you study anything else though?
In school?
No, I'm talking about in religion.
Yeah, he studies for me.
But
teach
any
him.
other study of any other religion?
I have.
Him.
He hasn't.
No?
No.
How do you know it's right for you though? Good question, huh?
Answer.
Good question.
They're asking you a question.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Think about it. I studied many for the simple fact that I didn't know what I wanted if I didn't open my mind to all.
I've read the Bible 12 times.
Which one?
The King David version. King James, I'm sorry.
King James. Okay.
King James version.
I was
King
like, David wrote one?
Okay. Where did that come from? Anyway,
That's
I've
a
read
chapter in the
I've read the Torah 4 times, the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, so you read the Torah.
The
Okay.
Bhagavad Gita 4 times. The
Torah is more based on the Old Testament.
on the Old Testament, yeah.
Right.
Just about any holy scripture that you could name, I've read it at least once.
And
from top to bottom.
Okay.
Okay. My whole entire life, I have been in search of God.
Okay.
Okay. Not even spirituality, God.
Right.
Okay. I've wanted to know who he is or she. I've wanted to know why and all of these things.
From my understanding, God is beyond us. The only thing that has a shape of a man or woman would be Jesus. From my understanding from many literature readings. So God is beyond a being.
Mm-hmm. God is
something unfathomable that we don't know.
Shapeless.
Correct.
But he is an extraterrestrial.
Yeah, to us, correct. If you had to put it in a word.
Of course, because he's not from here.
Right.
So anything that's not from Earth is extraterrestrial. And so are all of these spirits. And at one point, these spirits actually took shape of, humanoid shape and came to Earth, okay, and delivered things for us, okay? There was actually a time where man could actually talk to God directly from here, okay? But then God said, enough, because these people do not follow my orders. So he's like, I'm out of here. He gave the devil, he said, take care of these people. I'll be back. You can have this for a while. And that's what's been happening all this time, okay? And he'll come back. Jesus, though, is, to me, test tube, what do you call it? That in vitro fertilization. Okay, because if you really look at logic, which is what I look at in religion, or any spirituality,
Right.
it has to be logical to me. I don't listen to little fairy tales. It has
Okay.
to be logical. So, for a woman to get pregnant, she has to have some kind of intercourse.
Okay.
Right. And if she doesn't, then the only other way that you could get her pregnant is if you in vitro fertilize her.
Okay.
In the Bible, it says 3 angels came to talk to Mary. Okay. At night. Okay. And these angels.
I have a feeling I know where he's going with this.
No, wait. These angels obviously came from the sky because
Okay.
that's what they said. Okay. And they spoke to her, and then they told her, you will, be of child.
Okay.
Okay. So who's to say that right there they didn't test tube her like anal probe like they do, in the UFO things, okay?
Okay.
And put Jesus in there, which was the particle, okay, of God, of wherever God is from, okay, from this planet or wherever he's from, okay? And that is what made this half man, half God, okay, person come to the earth, because Jesus was a man. He died. You understand?
Right.
He bled. He hurt. He had all of those things. But he could also, put his hand on a person and make him come back to life. So he had some kind of extraterrestrial quality to him. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the years that Jesus was lost in the Bible, okay, that they stopped talking about him and they start talking again when he was 33. All of those years, there is recollection in many places on this planet that talk about Jesus having been there studying with either gurus or even Santeria priests, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He studied actual, religions and healings from people as he was growing up, because there's no other accounts of him in that book anywhere. Okay? So, but there are accounts of him in other books. Like even the Book of Mormon says that the Indians claim to have seen Jesus here.
Right.
In the United States. So, and if this guy was, half God.
What I based my study on, and I don't mean to cut you off, what I based my study on was basically the oldest written to man. That's how I based it. Because
let me tell you something
because basically you can't you don't know where you're going until you've seen where you came from, right?
Exactly.
And so when you get taught religion or ethics in college, etc. So this is not a religion conversation, by the way. We don't normally talk religion or politics on the show. We'll dabble in it because it's part of whatever it is. But I appreciate someone like you who can have an open conversation about it, and not everybody can do that. Unfortunately, there's some people that just take things a little too close-minded, and you need to be a little bit more open-minded.
Promoters.
Right. And one thing that I can really appreciate is that you studied many religions, which means you're a very open-minded person, that you found your own real way, like what works for you. And it doesn't need to work for me. It just needs to work for you.
Exactly.
And maybe something that you say triggers me to open it again and take a second look or a third look or a fourth look or maybe a seventh look. When you open a business, you don't make it the first time. You might make it on the 8th time.
Of course.
So everything in life kind of works that way. And one of the things that I got to say here is the way that I learned it was I said, okay, show me the book or show me the literature. Show me where it's at and which historian has it. Where is this magical, mythical book that you speak of that you got this from? And the answer was the Bible. This is the answer that I received, okay? And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this was what I was educated on. The Bible was created by many who took, and these priests and these pastors and these temples, etc., and many different religions got together and hashed it out and agreed and disagreed on what was going to be made. That is the literature in which I've received based upon the language that it was written on. So all of these different people, all these intelligent people read this book, right, and interpreted it in their own way, and that's why we have so many different other religions. Because from the beginning of time, from what has been able to be written, it has been Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism. That is the three that have been known to man, or the popular consensus as to what
Those have
was
been the
real.
best-selling books. If
Correct.
You want to call it
There
that.
you go. The popular consensus, and Christianity. When you look back at it, it's a pretty rough. It's got a really rough history behind it, and don't
Absolutely.
even get me started in Catholic churches.
No, those people were murderers.
It became, and I'm not bashing anybody who does any of those religions. It's great that you found something that you believe in and you love, and it's passionate and it works for you, and that's great. I'm not saying anything written in those books are bad. What I'm just saying is you kind of need to know the history of what you're studying.
Can I interject a second?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. The Bible that everybody knows, which is the King James version of the Bible.
No, well, not everybody, but it's a popular book.
The one that everybody reads now, okay? Because
Right.
nobody can get their hands on the Bible that
Old
was
Testament.
written, not the Old Testament.
The original.
It's with the New
the one
Testament
the
as
one
well.
in Latin.
Okay, no, in Aramaic.
Oh yeah, Aramaic.
Okay.
Yeah, excuse me. Yes.
The Bible that only kings and very big churches used to have way back then.
Yeah,
way,
nobody
way,
has
way
it
back
now.
then. Okay, was a Bible that was handwritten. It was done by a person, a calligraphy artist. Okay, it took years just to make a Bible, so it was very expensive as a book. But then when the printing press was invented, okay, the Pope at the time got together with the king and said, "Listen, we can make a lot of money off of this book." Okay.
Okay, so you read the same book I read.
Absolutely. and then they said we could use this printing press and everybody could have a Bible in their home.
100%.
Okay. But then the Pope said, but there's things in this book that we have to take out because the church doesn't want for these people to
Ding, ding,
read that
ding.
part. The first book that they took out of the Bible was the book of Jesus. I mean, if every single apostle that walked with that man wrote a book, was Jesus illiterate? He wrote a book too. But it was not good for business because the first page of Jesus's book, and I've seen that page because I used to be an altar boy. I was the head altar boy of one of the largest congregations of Florida.
Oh,
when
I
was
read
a
that.
kid,
I
okay?
read that in. No, I saw that in your interview.
Yes,
Yeah.
that book was taken out because the first page of that book says that there will be a church that will rise in my Father's name that will lie to the earth, and that church was a Catholic church. So they couldn't have that in that book. They had to take it out. If you read the Bible, you notice that a story is going on and all of a sudden it ends.
Right.
And you're like, what happened? Well, it's been edited. They made sure that they edited it before they printed it. So then what we're reading is not only an edited, version of the true story, but it's also a translation that comes from Aramaic to Latin, then from Latin to German, Italian, and French, then in English, and then to nowadays English.
Right.
I'm surprised that the Bible doesn't say, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Because they took out all of these words that are now
Right.
meaning different things. So that book, that's why everybody interprets it differently.
Right.
Because it's just a major confusion for people. You understand? Now, do you know where the oldest human bones come from?
The oldest human bones?
The oldest human bones discovered ever to the date.
Human bones?
Human bones, where they were discovered.
No, I don't.
Okay, they were discovered in a forest called the Mayombe Forest, which is in the Congo Republic of Africa.
Okay.
Mayombe Forest being where Palo Mayombe comes from.
Okay.
This is where the first men walked on earth. This is where God gave to these men, a form of divination, where this form of divination has been ranked by the United Nations as the most precise divination tool in the history of man, and this is basically something that's round, and it has like a coin, heads or tails, right?
Okay.
Some of us use 4, some of us use 8, of these round things. Like, let's say, imagine coins.
Okay.
One side is a 1 and the other side is a 0.
Okay.
What does that sound like? The binary code.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what we have in our DNA. Each one of us are beings
1 and 0.
that are made of a composite of 1s and 0s, and you might have 1 0 that's different from mine.
Right.
And that makes you, and this makes you me.
Right.
And also, the computers work on this binary code.
Correct.
Well, our form of divination,
Until they made 3. and then it changed everything.
Yeah, but it's still 1 and 0.
No, they made a 3.
But that doesn't fit into the equation.
That's why I said it changed everything.
Could only be negative and positive. There's no middle.
It's a neutral, is what they. It's different.
That's BS. What I'm trying to say is we have this binary code, okay, that was given to us in Africa in the beginning of man, where they discovered the oldest bones, okay? And with these 4 little chips, I can tell you anything that's happening in your life right now.
And this is something that you're studying now, right?
No, this is something that I've studied since I was 10 years old.
No, what I'm saying is you're using this now.
Oh, I use this. I do readings. This is what I use to do readings. So these binary codes has 256 possible combinations, and each one of the 256 has anywhere from 1,000 to 200 to 5,000 stories, okay, that can tell you exactly what's happening in your life right now.
I can't even figure out those damn Rubik's Cubes, man. Yeah. What are you telling me over here? I can't figure out a point and coin? So that's not happening, okay?
What I'm telling you is that this religion is older than the Bible, older than the Old Testament, older than all of that kind of stuff.
Can I Google it?
Absolutely. This is where these people descended on Earth for the first time, these people from out there.
I need to talk to the snitch.
And, you know, I've actually read all of these books, but I leave it up to those little chips to tell me what I have to do in my life. You know, that's what.
And again, that's why I say to everybody, you know, our show is not based upon that. We want everybody to have their own creative love and happiness into whatever it may be. But the thing is just to have an open mind. That's what the show is about. Making sure you have a very open mind to come up with solutions
this
to
new
problems.
Age of Aquarius. A lot of people are becoming aware. They're becoming woke. You know,
we're walking into Sandy's world.
You know
here.
what I'm saying?
She's big into
because they're tired of the
stars.
lies. Because they're tired of the lies. No, it's also this whole religious thing is also like zodiac. You know how you were born on a certain day with a certain star.
DJ Scorpio.
Every single day. You have a different thing that happens in your life because of how the stars have moved. Well, it's the same thing with this form of divination that I'm talking about.
It's a beautiful thing, man. I hope that you can touch more people in their religion spirit and you can awake them and into whatever, and hopefully it's for those people, man. I really do. I always said that, you know, whatever works for each individual is what it is. And this goes for everything, racism, sex, etc. You know, I just want to make sure that people understand that whether you're straight, gay, whatever, that's you. You know what I mean? That's what makes you happy.
You're a human.
People should learn to understand it, and if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. You don't have to follow it. Do what you do that makes you right, and you know nobody knows what's right or wrong except you. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. And what we've determined to be right and wrong. You know, you see a car coming, you stop because you don't want to die.
Exactly.
You know, that's right or wrong. That those are common things. You know, those are 100% common things. It's just one of those things. Anyways, we're way over time.
Okay,
we're way over time.
That usually happens with me.
But we normally don't have a time limit on these things.
Okay.
But I've had a phenomenal time, and I want to invite you back to the show.
Whenever you want, man.
I want to invite you back to the show because it was amazing time, man.
I before we go,
I just want to make sure that you get these cold croquetas, bro.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna pack that down right now. Before we go, I want to just let everybody know that, you know, this place that I came to today and this organization that I am doing this interview with has impressed me as a professional because of the way that they have treated me, because of everything that they have prepared before I even got here. You guys out there need to listen to this show, need to watch this show. This young man right here is onto something, and the young lady over there as well. And I give you guys my highest of blessings, and thank you so very much for having me here and letting me share my life with the people out there.
Brother, thank you. I can't say enough. I appreciate you very, very much for that. Those kind words.
Oh, wait, I gotta hit one of these. Wait.
There you go. There you go. There it is. I really do. I thank you so much. Like I said in the beginning of the show, it's an absolute honor to have you on here.
Thank you.
I've played your track a bajillion times. Don't get me wrong. And I look forward to hopefully breaking through to many people
Yes.
to listen to that track that I'm in love with right now.
All right, do it to it, man.
I'm in love with it. And for those of you just tuning in or have been tuned into the entire show, thank you guys so much. It's been a long one, but it's been an amazing one, an amazing journey here with Oba Frank Lords. Make sure you follow him at Oba Frank Lords on Instagram and on Facebook. It's been deleted.
Don't even go there.
So you can't go to Facebook and look it up, but that's that. On YouTube, we really need as many subscribers as we can. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. That's really what's going to get us to pay the bills here and to keep the show running, because
yes,
I do eventually run out of money, people.
No, and this show is worth supporting. It is. It really is. This is something really cool, and I hope that it grows and it becomes huge.
I hope so too, man. I hope so too. I hope all that lightning and thunder that was happening out there was making it all happen.
Electricity.
We were creating the thunder and lightning over here. All right. And don't forget, Thursday, July 9th, 2020, make sure you support the American Cancer Society as a night of hope in the Luminaire of Tribute drive-through parade in the one and only Tropical Park here on the Miller Drive entrance of Miami, Florida, down where you guys normally would go for Santa's Enchanted Forest. Right there. Make sure you guys put on the donations. Sandy, can you put that up on the screen, please? You guys can make your donations beforehand. They will not be taking donations there on the day of. It's only $10, or you could submit more if you'd like to. Basically, that $10 allows you to come into the parade, and you have a bag with a candle. I actually think that you can come to the parade without donating, just to send your support. And we really appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you need more information on this, please check us out at ptmplive.com, and of course follow us on all of our social media platforms. But the one and only really, really important one that we really want you guys to check out is our YouTube, and please hit that subscribe button and notifications to get notified whenever we're going live or dropping some new things. With that being said, this is Pass the Mic Podcast. I'm Eddie G, your host. Oba Frank Lords, our guest, his son, and Sandy, our director and producer. With that being said, good night. We appreciate you. We love you guys. Until the next Pass the Mic on next Thursday, we will see you soon.
Like us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at PTMP Live, or visit us at ptmplive.com. Be sure to hit subscribe and turn on your live notifications for more exclusive stuff.